Turtle, welcome to BOMISpirit. This is going to be the weekly astrology and messages for May 26th to June 2nd. I can't believe we're in June. That's so crazy. Happy new moon in Gemini today, by the way. I'm sure you guys are feeling it, and I hope you're enjoying it. So if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. We are actually live right now. Actually, let me just adjust the chat settings really quickly. Now, some of y'all know I've been in some interesting energies the last week or so. And I'm kind of ebbing in and out of that still. So as far as how we normally go this, if you're new, normally what we do is we chat a little, we do some channel messages, we go over the overview of the week, we go into astrology of the week, and then we also pull cards for all the signs. That's normally how we do it. However, I definitely don't have the bandwidth for that today. So I preemptively decided to do groups today. And we're going to do it pick a card style. And I'm going to see if I can angle the camera down and see if you guys can see it okay to pick your cards when we get to that portion. Also keep in mind that this is going to be time-stamped, but you have to wait for the live to be over for the timestamps to actually be done. And sometimes even then YouTube takes a while to process them. Is there anything else I want to mention before we get into it? Thank you. Yeah, I love my plants too. With the new moon energy, I've been rearranging and stuff like that. Oh, man. Sorry, there's so much I want to say, and this is also the thing too. It's like I said, I'm kind of ebbing in and out of this intensity of my integration right now. And just, so I'm a little slow. I'm a little slower than I normally am, so I'm gonna be doing my best here. As some of you can tell, I have a new setup right now. There's a reason for that. My computer, I've already been having tech issues, and today my computer just tanked on me. And I'm so sad because I was actually getting ready to finish my personal readings. I had 2 left to finish, and I went to finish them, and it just kaput. It just kaput on me. Literally can't even do anything on it. And I'm just really sad because I've also had the computer for so long. So we're doing it this way for right now. And who knows, maybe this will stay. Maybe there's also just spirit just trying to guide me to change things up. I'm all for that. So yeah, as far as computer stuff and messaging me and things like that, and even doing lives in the way that we have been doing them, can't do too much of that because I don't have access to my computer right now. For anybody who just needs to know that information. Is there anything else I want to say before we dive in? Yes. So there actually was a channeled message today, but again, I was preoccupied with the computer stuff. So I didn't put it out, but I'm going to put it here, and it's very quick. It's very simple. It's a little emotional. Cat. Oh, I have a pillow here for him, but I think he's in his windowsill right now. He'll probably come by and check us out. Just looking at the timestamp here. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Let me also light a little incense here. Ooh, which one am I going for? Okay. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday so far. I know I said that, but I just I hope you guys are good. Totally feeling neither looking to the right or the left kind of energy. Good. That's a nice place to be. Miss seeing his cute face. Well, I'm sure you'll see his face at some point. I'm sure you will. Also, I have my head covered because I still have some crown energy going on. So if you start to feel that while you're watching, that's probably, don't be shocked. Oh man, I readjust this timestamp for this quick little channeled message. And to be honest, I feel like this little message, obviously it's not for everybody, but we have a quarter moon at the end of the week, and I actually think it may touch on that a little bit. Also with some stuff that Venus is doing this week. Again, we'll get into it, but so at some point, early mid-morning today, I just got hit with this very simple message and this overwhelming feeling of someone realizing they made it through. Someone actually really realizing they've made it through and they've made it out of a very difficult situation. could even be like a cycle or like a phase of life, but it had this heaviness to it of, oh, I survived. And it's interesting too, because when I wanted to put the message out there, I almost wanted to phrase it as more of a reminder, but I felt like there was someone, maybe again like part of the collective, coming into this awareness, and just sitting with that, like really just sitting with that truth. Um, but I did want to phrase it as a reminder of, if you're like not feeling super great, or you're having, trouble just, finding happiness or just like gratitude, all that stuff, as a reminder to remember when you were in a very bad situation, when you were in a survival situation, when you were in a worse state or worse situation, and that you made it out and you made it through and you're okay. You survived. It was a message and reminder of survival, and that's over. Which also feels relatively collective too, just given the stuff we've been talking about lately. But yeah, it was emotional, and it was a little heavy, and it was just like, someone needs to hear that. Someone definitely needs to hear that. So yeah, just putting that out there. Hold on, does this need to be said? Okay, they said yes. It's gonna sound really random. Channeled songs. Really pay attention to some of the channeled songs. Hold on a second. I need to adjust. This is like, I don't know, it's just making me a little crazy. Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay. Channeled songs. There may be one or two channeled songs that are in your awareness lately. I am kind of getting the feeling that like, oh, how do I want to say this? That it's a shared experience, you're having with somebody, friend or otherwise. And I think deep down you know that. Maybe some guys are resisting that truth, but deep down you may know that. That just wanted to come up and be said. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get into a couple important points about this week. And again, I'm gonna do my best here to not be too all over the place, because even as I was looking at everything, I was like, these are important things. And it's like, and I could see like the nuance of it, but also I'm like, oh, can my brain handle that? Well, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. So first things first, new moon in Gemini is today in 6 degrees 6 minutes, at around 11 p.m. Pacific time. So adjust that for where you are. Some of you, this may actually be on 5:27 in the morning. Right, again, depending on where you are. Alejandra, hi, hello at work. I'll be able to moderate at 8. No worries. I'm just glad you're here. Hi. Yes, so the new moon Gemini is today. But also something that's interesting is that at the end of the week, literally on June 2nd, we have the quarter moon in Virgo. And that quarter moon in Virgo is a south nodal quarter moon, which really jumped out at me. And I also realized it's conjunct Orcus, which we haven't talked about Orcus in a long time. But feeling into that, I was like, oh, like, not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. None of this is bad, right? But quarter moons, and I feel like I do this reminder every week when we have a quarter moon, which is every 2 weeks. Quarter moons are a good little check-in with the self. Checking in between the new moon and the full moon, just like, where are you at in terms of your intentions? Like, are you still feeling that? Have things changed, right? It's just a little self check-in. Sometimes quarter moons can feel crunchy because the sun is square the moon. That's what makes it a quarter moon. And the fact that it's in Virgo, that south nodal energy, it's not exactly conjunct the south node, right? Because the south node, I believe at that time is going to be at 23 degrees Virgo, and the quarter moon's at 12 degrees. So it's like, it's not exact, but it's still in that sign. It's still in that energy of the south node. And the south node, it's stuff that we're leaving behind, right? It's stuff that we're releasing. It's also like karmic stuff. Completions is a word that's coming through. But the Orcus factor also emphasizes that. So if you're not familiar with Orcus is very Plutonian. It's Plutonian with a little bit of like Neptunian flair. Like while Pluto reveals truth and distortion and corruption and secrets and all that stuff, Orcus does do that, but Orcus is also more focused on justice and vengeance and like setting things right no matter what. Setting things right no matter what. It's actually more confrontational than Pluto in a way. Orcus also, rules healing modalities and knowledge and information, things like that, especially being in Virgo. Um, so it's interesting, right? And what I was feeling just as a sensitive, as an intuitive, was a confrontation. I was feeling like, and I know what I'm about to say. Some people are gonna be like, and I know, I get it. This is just life. This is the ebb and flow of life. It does feel like there is almost like a flash, and it's very quick. I feel like it's really only going to be like either the day before of or after the quarter moon of like a ghost of the past. Doesn't have to be a person, right? It doesn't have to be a person. It's like your personal boogeyman, okay? Something that you felt was you were done with and complete with, but there's something about it that also feels like it may even relate to a very sensitive or central pain point in relation to Chiron and some of those energies we have been moving through and moving out of, right? All through that minor grand trine of remembrance, right? All through the what's the gift of our soul scars? What's the gift of our life experience? Especially since Venus is now going to be playing a role in that with Chiron. There is a whole new layer of that. Okay? There's a whole new layer of what is the gift of our life experience that we are embracing and we're finding actual joy in. With Venus joining the party, it's going to touch on relationships, okay? It's also going to touch on pleasure. But the quarter moon in Virgo with that Orcus conjunction and that South Nodal energy, like it really does feel like now that we are underway in this amazing, beautiful energy that this new moon is gifting us, along with the aspects of the new moon, of course. I didn't have time to put a title on here, also because it's on my phone, not my computer. But I've been calling this new moon Walking in Remembrance. If you're familiar with the terminology of like walking in beauty, it's very similar to that. But this remembrance is becoming so much more tangible, so much more embodied, like we're really living it, right? We are it. And it feels good and it feels lighter and it feels new but familiar all at the same time. It feels empowering. It's amazing. It really is. And then here comes this little quarter moon energy, a check-in. That's what a quarter moon is. It's a check-in. It's a check-in between the new moon and the full moon. It's a check-in of today, right? It's a check-in of this beautiful energy. 1313, as I said this. And so what it's going to do is it's going to bring out that karmic energy. It's going to bring out that Orcus Plutonian energy, and it's going to go boom. Basically, it's basically what it's going to do. And it is going to be a moment where some may perceive this as a test. I can see that being a lens of reality, like a lens of perception. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It just is. This is life, right? It's not a bad thing. It's all about how you respond and deal with that, right? Because this could all be very internal, right? It could be like your old, like, a very old random memory, a very old random feeling. Excuse me. Comes up out of nowhere, right? Boom. I don't know why it's making me laugh so hard. And it's up to you to how to navigate it. And most people have the tools to navigate that just fine. But like I said, with this Venus component, Venus joining the party with Chiron. We'll get deeper into that when we get to the astrology portion. This is supposed to be overview and it's like more than that, but I can't help it. It's just, I can't help it. This is just how I am. This is just where I'm at right now. It's interesting because when Venus joins that minor grand trine with Chiron, we're going from a very concentrated experience of self, right? A very concentrated experience of just insight about the self, the identity, the sense of self, our own vision, our own uniqueness, right? To suddenly a layer of, oh, but how are you with all of you with others? How have you been with all of you with others? And there is a reflection there. There absolutely is, from what was to what is, because we are in this new energy too. It's like it feels like this week is going to have some strange moments, maybe some strange conversations of these little blips of boogeymen, right? Metaphorically speaking, from the past. But again, I also say this as a reminder that these boogeymen, these boo moments, these are things that we are done with. They are. These are things that we are done with. And whatever story you want to attach that, if you want to attach a narrative of like, oh, it's these lower vibrational energies that like want to keep trying us. You could even look at it that way. I think that's perfectly valid. But this is just the flow of energy. This is just the windows of energy that are occurring this week right now. No matter what spin you want to put on it that you resonate with. So again, these boogeyman energies, they are done. And I almost want to say too, like, it's reminding me of like of the channel message that came through too, of like, hey, you survived. Like, you survived. You made it through. You came out the other side of something difficult or something challenging or something scary, right? Even if you are just, equating that to your own healing journey or your own spiritual journey or your own just evolution, right? Or literally just escaping something really awful and terrible and bad, right? Why would you ever go back? You wouldn't. Unless you say yes, right? Unless you allow that to take root, right? Keep in mind, we do have some funky Neptunian energies going on, beautiful Neptunian energies, but also funky Neptunian energies. And we're going to get into that too. But remember, Saturn is also still disillusioning us around Neptune. And with that malefic energy around Neptune, and Jupiter is also moving into a square with Saturn and Neptune, some of that shadowy Neptune energy can also come out where we can be disappointed or regretful or be really hard on ourselves. And again, this is a reminder that I also gave last week, to not let those emotions swallow you whole, right? We don't need to be that hard on ourselves. We really don't. We're just human, and it's okay to like recognize, right, whatever truth you're seeing about a situation or whatever truth you're experiencing through your own feelings, your own emotions. But to remember, these things are old, these things are done. And even if we do come into some like, upsetting moment or upsetting realization or truth, you can have that moment and then learn from it and move on, right? Let it liberate you. Don't let it hold you down, right? Is there anything else I wanted to say? With this new moon Gemini, I talked about this like in like probably excessively with my patrons over the weekend. Was that just yesterday? No. Was it? Oh my God, I think that was just yesterday. Wow, time is so weird, man. This new moon in Gemini is very special. It's very special. It's just very special. We have Uranus working with Mercury, working with Sedna, working with the new moon, working with Pluto, working with Neptune, along with Saturn. We have all of these like massive planets that also like, some of them are like in this like newer energy, right? And I will say this, like I was mentioning before, with this like walking in remembrance, it's becoming a lot more tangible. But also part of this energy for some people are activations and awakenings and ascension symptoms and all that, because of Mercury and Uranus, the way they're working together. But also inspired ideas, breakthroughs, unexpected encounters that are life-changing, unexpected conversations that are life-changing or even inspiring. And it's just beautiful and it's amazing. There's also a lot of creative, inventive, innovative energy at our disposal that we can like really run with, which is also really fun. Something I did mention on Patreon is that I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 weeks that the seeds of change for how we share information, how we attain information, social media, internet, politics, news, media, all of that stuff. I think I said media twice, doesn't matter. Uh, all of that stuff I think is going to start going through a renaissance. And I think the seeds are going to be started in the next couple of weeks, whether it's through someone's brilliant idea and it takes them, I don't know, maybe at least 6 months to get that underway, or the way that people are using these different modalities of sharing information. They find loopholes, they find new ways. Um, Interesting. I heard reinvent the wheel. Oh, that's very interesting. It's given me books. It's given me books. Ooh, wouldn't that be interesting if we have a resurgence of like printed word? Actually, that did kind of come up around in Patreon too. That did kind of come up in Patreon. Um, it just wouldn't shock me. It just wouldn't shock me if that's something that gets underway this week. Yeah. The other final thing I want to say in the overview before we get into the astrology, the astrology at this point is going to sound a little repetitive, but that's okay. This is key points, right? This is the key point portion. Don't forget about temperance. Don't forget about the gift and the lesson of temperance. That is still at play. That's going to be at play while Saturn is also working with Neptune. Also, while Saturn is in Aries, it's part of Saturn Aries lessons. And as Jupiter moves into a square with Saturn and Neptune, temperance. Temperance, patience, breathing, especially given what Mars is doing in Leo. Again, this is all Western tropic astrology. What Mars is doing in Leo, there can be some frustration that definitely amps up there, and a feeling of like maybe being a little bit more restricted than anticipated may also happen there, which actually is only going to help. It may not feel like it, but it will help. Temperance, pacing, patient, mastery of timing, mastery of sustainable movements, strategy, sustaining your own energy reserves, resources, all that sort of deal. The right timing to things will help, will definitely help. And if you really struggle with that, this is the time to learn that, okay? And if you fight that, just think of what happens when you try to fight Aries energy. Think what happens when Aries goes a little out of control, right? Aries loses that strategist mind. Aries loses that steadfast confidence due to impatience, impulsivity, too much riskiness, and destruction can happen. So just something to keep in mind there. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good as far as just like overview is concerned. So let's go ahead and get into the astrology here, okay? All right. Actually, no, let me change that timestamp a little bit. I need like 10 more seconds. Oh, my head. I saw the Cinema Therapy posted a video about what? And they talked about the lesson of starving temperance. No way. For real? I haven't watched Cinema Therapy in a while. Okay, little story time, and then we'll get back to it. Anybody who's new, we do a little story time over here when we're live, because it's just more fun that way. It's just more fun to be casual. So Cinema Therapy, it is a cool channel. It's a cool channel. So it's two besties, like two bros. They've been friends forever. One's a psychologist or therapist, and the other is a filmmaker, and they're both like just huge film nerds, and they love it. And they have a good dynamic. And so they give like the psychological perspective of a movie or show or whatever, and the filmmaking perspective. And it is a fun time. It's a fun time. That's so crazy they did an episode. That's so cool. Now I want to watch it. I gotta watch it later. I must have been like, I don't know. It's just part of the collective energy, right? But I will say, like, I've kind of struggled to watch them in like the last year or so. I don't know. I feel like I could like just sense something between them like in the last like year or so that I don't know, just and I couldn't put my finger on it. And I mean, in any relationship, things change, stuff happens. People, humans are human. But yeah, I've had a hard time watching them, but that is crazy and that is so cool. And I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that. All right. Hold on. I'm making a note for myself so I don't forget. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Um, where was I? Astrology. Yeah, there's no way I can do signs today. There's no way. So when I keep talking, I guess just really quick. When I go through like major integrations, I do find that like late in the night is when I'm better, like just like when it's not as intense. And that was last night. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just be nocturnal for a while. I'll just like sleep during the day and like work and be alive at night, and like do what I need to do. Um, but then the morning came and I couldn't sleep, and then I couldn't sleep, and so I don't know. I'm all kinds of off right now, as far as my circadian rhythm is concerned. But the astrology, let's go ahead and get into it. So just like I mentioned, the overview, this minor grand trine of greatness is shifting, it's changing. So if you're not familiar with it, the minor grand trine of greatness that I've been referring to for the last like 3 weeks or so, maybe last month now, has been between a conjunction of Chiron and Eris and Aries, a conjunction of Pallas, Athena, and Chariclo, excuse me, tired, and Aquarius, and Jupiter and Gemini. They've been hanging out together for quite a while, having a good old time, having a great party, helping us to intellectualize and to see what our unique life experience, how that is like a unique skill set for us. It also has offered healing in that same vein, but it's also offered, for some people, a sense of purpose, for some people, like a call to something bigger than themselves, and really this notion and clarity of, oh, this is the puzzle piece that I am. I know the puzzle I belong to. I know where I can go and be and fit, and like where, like a sense of belonging almost, which is great because it's also like highlighted, right? Our potential for our own greatness and unique vision is tied into that too. Now, here's how it's changing. So, Pallas and Chariclo, this is going to be the last week they're conjunct for a while. And so that component of it is kind of falling away. Venus and Aries is now catching up to Chiron and Eris. Jupiter has also been in a square with the North Node, but that is falling away after the new moon. They're still square today, but that's falling away, and then Jupiter's moving into a square with Saturn and Neptune. So in a weird way, it's like, not in a weird way, just in a way, we're kind of losing the really positive effect of that aspect that has really been helping us a lot and really supporting us a lot. It still is. It's just it's lessening, right? With Chariclo not being part of the picture, and then Venus joining the party, and even like the square between Jupiter and Saturn. That's way tougher than Jupiter square the North Node. So the ease of that is lessening. We have an added layer of Venus with our life experience that we are learning from and looking at and embodying, which is a big piece. Like, relationships are a big piece. So is pleasure. So is fun. Like, that's a massive piece. But the Jupiter square Saturn, when I saw that, I was like, oh, like my stomach did get a little tight. I was like, it is what it is. It's not bad. It is what it is. If anything, it's going to teach temperance. Right? If anything, it'll teach temperance. So, how do I want to say this? So let's talk about Venus, like in relation to all of this. With Venus joining Chiron, like I was mentioning before, relationship dynamics, memories, beliefs in relation to Chiron, in relation to our painful experiences, our woundings, our traumas, our fears, insecurities, that sort of deal, right? That's going to be coming up. Not necessarily in a bad way. It's about learning. It's about reflecting. It's about, embodying the wisdom that those experiences have given us, right? It's just another layer, though. So, it's like we're going from being focused on the self to, now there's more about this. Now it's a little bit more complicated. Now it's a little bit more layered, right? And relationships, I feel like for some people, there can be really big pain points in there, you know? So you may be like reflecting on certain relationships from the past, or just like, again, like weird memories coming up around this time, especially with the quarter moon being at the end of the week, also kind of highlighting this like karmic-y energy and like demanding things to be balanced and harmonized and released, right? And even demanding for justice. And especially in terms of Chiron, right? Pain points. It's just a quick word for me that I've been using for that. Relationships that left scars on us, where we never received that justice, we never received the closure. Those ones, those ones, those be coming up a little bit. Again, not bad. Just look at it, let it say boo, and do what you will with it. Navigate it to the best of your ability. Okay? What was the thing I wanted to mention here? Now, pleasure. The way we experience pleasure, the way we experience fun, the way we experience entertainment, enjoyment, this is also here too. So if any of you have struggled with feeling like you can just go and have fun, right? If any of you have struggled with like what it is to play, what it is to enjoy, what it is to experience, just fun and entertainment, are there any like coping mechanisms around that? Are there any devilish things around that? Are there also some pain points you have in relation to those things that, whether they're resolved or not, that may come up around this time too. But again, I just want to remind you guys, this is just how life is. This is the ebb and flow of life. It will always be that way, right? Everything moves in cycles, especially the planets. And this is why everything is just like cyclical in and of itself. But every time we loop back around, it shouldn't be as bad, because we've looped around it already, right? I'm getting money with that too. Yeah, it's like, it's giving me a little indulgence energy, which isn't bad, it just is. It just is. It just is. Now, at that same time, Mars and Venus are still in a trine together at the beginning of the week. By the end of the week, that trine is gone. Also, something that's very like nice and enjoyable and easeful and fun is also falling away by the end of the week when we hit that quarter moon in Virgo. When you have Mars and Leo trine Venus and Aries, I mean, that's the epitome of a good time. That's the epitome of like flirty, romantic, sensual, very indulgent, also very creative, very confident, a lot of confident energy there, a lot of like physical energy and vitality also wrapped up in that trine. It's really great for socializing. It's really great for just like feeling like you want to put a lot of energy into something that makes you feel good. Like that's a great aspect for that. But by the end of the week, that is falling away. But Mars is also still trine Chiron in Eris and opposing Pallas in Cheroclo, while square Juno in Scorpio. So here's the thing about Mars in relation to those aspects. Well, every time I tune into Mars for this week, it just feels frustrated. That's all I keep getting from it. It just feels frustrated. It just feels like there's a lot of fire and it wants to go left, right, sideways. And it's like almost like it hits walls a little bit, almost like it can't quite find the right outlet. That's just how it's feeling energetically to me. So I would just keep your eye on that in your own charts of like what house you have Leo in. Yeah, I don't know why that sounded weird to me. What house you have Leo in. And just be aware that like you may be feeling kind of angsty in relation to that house or that aspect of your life. But it's also kind of part of this temperance energy anyway. Mostly that temperance energy has to do with Saturn, but Mars in Leo in this way could use a little temperance, like could use a little soothing, could use a little calming, could use a little patience. Also keep in mind too, when it comes to relationships of any kind, there can be some unexpected encounters and meetings. And I kind of mentioned that in the overview, and we're going to get deeper into that when we talk about the new moon energies and Mercury and Uranus. But with that square to Juno and that trine to Chiron, with Venus being part of that too, while it's opposing Pallas and Cheroclo, just allow yourself to be open and receptive and try not to be too forceful with people. Like, for your own gain. Be forceful with your boundaries. Be forceful with your needs. Do that all day. But don't try to dominate anybody or be pushy with anybody around this time. It's not going to serve you. This is a time to be open to different kinds of people and new experiences, and to embrace that, learn from that, play in that, experiment in that. It's not about dominating anybody or controlling anybody because you're trying to have an outlet for that Mars energy. You don't have it, right? Also, an outlet for that could like honestly be like having some fun with yourself, some like sexual fun with yourself could be a good outlet for that. Physical activity, dancing, going for hikes, walks, going to the gym, could be great outlets for that. Also, just anything that where you can like express. Expression feels really important that for that, like even with the body or even with the voice would be really good as an outlet for Mars Leo. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? Oh, I didn't even talk about the square with Saturn. Okay, let's talk about that. So I did kind of talk about it a little bit, but not like in detail. So Saturn working this conjunction with Neptune, we're going to have it for a little bit. Okay. And Saturn, what Saturn is doing, it like the best analogy I've come up with is like the Seven of Cups energy. Seven of Cups is Scorpio, but it is kind of Neptunian in its nature. Seven of Cups in tarot is like you have 7 cups and you are just kind of allowing yourself to get lost in the cups a little bit, right? Where it's like you're entertaining all these ideas, or you're entertaining options, or you're entertaining all these emotions, or fantasy, right? It's like these are the realms of what these cups can represent. But what makes the Seven of Cups a Seven of Cups is that not all of them are real. Not all of them are practical. Not all of them are realistic. Some of them are too fantastical. Some of them are actual just straight up illusions. Some of them are straight up fantasies, right? So what Saturn is doing is Saturn is coming in and kicking over some of those cups, kicking over the cups that are not real, that are not viable, that are not realistic. And so for some people that can be a little bit of a rude wake up call. Other people it's going to feel very liberating, like, oh, this is what I actually have to work with. Okay, good. So it's like, you know what I mean? Because in a way it's lightening your load because it's sobering you up. That's how I wrote it. Yeah, it's a sobering reality. Whether you experience that as a tower moment or something more positive, right? Everyone's going to be different in that realm, especially if it's like tangible options versus like ideas or fantasies and desires and wants and things of that nature. So just let Saturn liberate you as Saturn disillusions you, because whatever you're left with, it's going to be more aligned to you. It's actually going to be like potentially actually for you. And then as we get to embrace Saturn and Aries energy for summer, I talked in great detail about this on the Aloha Friday live. So check out that last Aloha Friday that I did. It should be under the live tab. And I was very detailed in how I spoke about it. I don't want to reiterate it here because it's kind of lengthy, but yeah, just watch that. So for summer, we get to play with those cups. We get to experiment. We get to try it on for size. We get to see what we can do with them. And then come September, during fall and winter, we're going to have a little bit of another like sit down of like, okay, now that I've like played around with those cups, do I even want these cups anymore? Do I want to do anything else with these cups, right? It's going to be that kind of energy. So that's what Saturn and Neptune are doing together. The other thing that's great about Saturn and Neptune is that Saturn is really great at getting people to be more disciplined, getting people to rise to the occasion. And with Neptune, with this disillusionment, Saturn also helps to ground some of these things into physical reality. So in a way, you can actually like bring some of your dreams and fantasies to life, at least the ones that are left after Saturn kicks the other ones over. Now, the square to Jupiter and Gemini. Anytime you get Jupiter and Saturn in a square, Jupiter is expansive. It wants to grow. It wants to be big. It wants to be loud. It wants to like, right? Saturn wants to restrict. Saturn wants to calm Jupiter down. So it's kind of like Saturn is like grabbing the arms of Jupiter and like holding Jupiter down. For like, I think that's the best analogy to talk about those planets in that kind of way. Jupiter being in Gemini just wants to explore, wants to play, wants to talk, wants to meet people, and it's a very unfocused energy. And to be honest with you, I feel like I say this every live, I am so ready for Jupiter going to Cancer. Like, I am so ready for some water, says the water sign. I'm so ready for it. Not that Gemini's bad. I've kind of had my fill for, for this Jupiter cycle. Jupiter also doesn't behave well in Gemini because Jupiter is home in Sag, its counterpart. In Gemini, it can be very scattered and just like a lot of mental energy. And I knew when Jupiter was going to move into Gemini, that grounding was going to be so much harder, and it absolutely has been so much harder. Yeah, be very happy when it goes back into Pisces, when it goes into Cancer. But anyway, not important for here. So, with all this excitement and this feeling of like, oh, I get to play, I get to experiment, even with Mars and Leo, right? Like wanting to like take all this fire and all this passion and go and do things, go and meet people, go and date people, go and have some fun, or go and create, just go and express and go and just really like bite into life. Saturn's going like temperance. Saturn's grabbing our arms and being like, temperance. Wait, be patient. You may be able to do some things. You may not be able to do all the things, right? So don't be shocked if you hit a wall. Don't be shocked if you hit a road bump, if you will, or if like plans get oddly messed up. Like something else was coming up too that I thought was interesting was judgment. The word judgment was coming up, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense, because Jupiter being in Gemini, Gemini is the lower mind, right? It's the mental space. It's thoughts. It's also how we make decisions, right? But also the fact that Saturn's with Neptune, which is also intuition, right? Neptune is like how we can perceive things, or even like how emotions can sway how we see things, right? So there is something too about the square while Saturn and Neptune are working together against Jupiter, that potential for like, I almost want to say impaired judgment, or like funky judgment could be a potential. Also why temperance may be very beneficial right now, to pace and to be a little bit more patient and be a little slower. Wait for all the puzzle pieces to be clear. Wait for everything to feel totally right, right? Use your, do you live your life the way you want to. But that was something I was sensing, and it makes sense to me just from an astrological standpoint. Yeah, and I wrote breathe. Breathe. Yeah. Sobering reality suffocates Jupiter in Gemini. So breathe. So interesting how I wrote that. Yeah, Saturn with Neptune creates a sobering reality, and then the square to Jupiter, it's suffocating Jupiter. So just pace and breathe and take your time. Okay. I believe that's it for this section. Yeah, for this section, that's it. So as far as like your houses are concerned, I would look to 20 to 25 degrees Leo and Aries, for obvious reasons, right? And like what we've been talking about with Venus and Mars and Chiron and all of that. I would keep your eyes on where Saturn and Neptune are, which is 0 to 5 degrees Aries, against Gemini, 25 to 29 degrees. Whatever's going on in that little range in your house, whether you have personal planets there or like just the house itself, they're fighting each other. Whatever house you have, 0 to 5 degrees Aries, it's restricting the house where you have Gemini, 25 to 29 degrees. So keep that in mind. That house, the Aries house, is going to dominate Gemini for this week. And, well, wait, where are we again? Up to June 2nd, right? Yeah, I would even say even through the first half of June, actually. Because Jupiter moves into Cancer on June 9th. And at that point, Neptune will still be at Aries, early degrees. Saturn will still be at Aries, 1 degree. And that's only going to be stronger. That square is only going to be stronger. So yeah, I would say from now until the first half of June, that square won't be there. And it's going to get intense, more intense than it is now. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. And also, keep your eye on Virgo for this South Nodal quarter moon little boo moments, if you will. And I really feel like that is only going to be like the day before of or after the quarter moon, and the quarter moon is on June 2nd. So I would just keep your eyes peeled between June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for internal little boo moments or external boo moments that just come out of nowhere. And that would be Virgo 10 to 15 degrees is where I would look into your houses, but I would consider the whole house a Virgo too. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next. How do I want to talk about this? How do I want to talk about this? So this is the new moon Gemini energy coinciding with this minor grand trine of remembrance. The other grand trine I was talking about before was the minor grand trine of greatness and how that was evolving. So the minor grand trine of remembrance originally has been Neptune in Aries with Sedna in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, all working together. And over these last few weeks, there have been different celestial bodies that have joined the party, so to speak. And the new moon is actually when we have the most celestial bodies part of this minor grand trine, which is kind of crazy. And then by the end of the week, it mellows out a little bit, but it's still going to be strong and not in a bad way. This is a really positive aspect, okay? Now, speaking to that, Uranus is starting to get ready to go into Gemini. Uranus moves into Gemini on July 7th, on 7/7, which is kind of interesting. What's the numerology of that day? Wait, 7, 7, 9, 14, 23. Oh, that's a 5-day. Did I do that math right? 14, 13, 25. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, on 7/7, Uranus moves into Gemini, and numerologically speaking, that day is a 5-day. Change. Freedom. Breaking free. Breaking away. That's what Uranus does anyway. Like, there's a whole talk I could do about Uranus and Gemini too that I feel like would take up too much space here. And I'm sure you've heard other astrologers talk about this, how Uranus and Gemini is associated with war. It is, but there's also wars that don't have that part of the astrology of when they took place. So it's like, I could see why astrologers look at it, especially for the United States. And for like the big wars, like World War I, World War II, Civil War, I think those were Revolutionary War maybe too. Those were the biggies, and I believe Uranus was in Gemini at that time. And there was something interesting with Neptune and like where it is now. It's a video for another time. Don't worry about it. Don't move into fear about it. I'm just providing information, okay? But coming back to the main topic, Uranus is getting ready to move into Gemini. Sedna is at Gemini 0 degrees and moves into 1 degree this week. So it's getting pretty close, and it is part of this minor grand trine, including around the new moon as well. Neptune, we know that Saturn is joining Neptune. We just talked about that. And on the new moon, Mercury joins Uranus. Pseudo. It's closest now, but Mercury moves so fast. Mercury is gonna speed way past it really quickly. But for today, it is aspecting Uranus and Sedna and the new moon itself. So we have the new moon, Mercury, Uranus, and Sedna all kind of hanging out together. It's a lot. And that's part of this minor grand trine of remembrance. Now, with Neptune and Saturn, Ceres is there right now. That will also move out of that trine relatively quickly by the end of the week. So kind of just, reiterating what I was saying, this is the most like celestial bodies that are part of the minor grand trine that will be part of the minor grand trine. And by the end of the week, it'll be lesser than. But what does this entail, right? We've spoken to death about remembrance, so I'm not going to get too deep into that topic. You know what that means for you. Most of you know what that means for you. And if you don't, this remembrance energy, it's this awakening to the sense of like home and belonging to self. It's this recall of familiarity of who you are. It's this recall of things that you enjoy, things that are part of your essence, part of your soul, whether that's coming from more of a like past life sort of deal, or whether that's coming from like, oh, I forgot I loved that. Oh, I forgot I was good at that. Oh, I forgot how much that felt, made me happy, It's that stuff. There's also ancient wisdom and knowledge coming forward through this minor grand trine as well, which is very interesting. And I can't wait to see the seeds that are planted out of this remembrance, because it's also highly innovative and inventive. And they reminded me of what they said earlier of like reinventing the wheel. Um, but not in a bad way, in a needed way, right? It's like taking things that have been tried and true in the past that we have kind of poo-pooed or just went like, oh, we just want something new or whatever. But realizing how valuable some of these traditional things are, or like how valuable some of these like old ways of thinking are, and just putting a little bit of a modern spin on it, for the benefit of all, right? Because we're talking about Gemini, we're talking about Aquarius, we're talking about Aries. This is the power and influence of the individual on a group of people, on a collective, right? Even on humanity, even like on the way, in the way of consciousness. So it's very powerful. It's very exciting, however you're experiencing that for yourself, okay? So obviously check like your house of Gemini, your house of Aquarius, and your house of Aries, for where how this remembrance is happening in your life, because they're all working together, 0 to 5 degrees. Now, a few other key points here about the more specifics of how this energy is acting around this new moon. The first being, and I spoke with this in the overview, activations and ascension symptoms, okay? Very physical for some people. A lot of solar stuff has been happening. I blame Uranus for that. I blame Mars and Leo for that. But like Rainbow Tribe, like we have been talking about it for a bit, of just like how upset our tummies have been. And mine also has not been like fully okay yet. It's better than it was. But that's also been a thing. As I take a sip of my tea, my little detox tea. With that too, there could also be some really intense crown, third eye energy, like crazy intuitive hits, insights, visions even. That's the power of Mercury working with Uranus, bringing things forward and just like breaking things open that otherwise you've been kind of closed to, as far as your own perceptions and beliefs are concerned, or just putting pieces together is concerned. Yeah, visionary ideas. Visionary ideas are part of this. Breakthroughs are part of this. Now, also the fact that Uranus is here and also working with Mercury. This is also why, and Pluto is also part of this too, and the new moon energy, so sun and moon energy. So we have the emotional body, we have the psyche at play here, we have the soul at play here, consciousness, right? All getting a little unexpectedly shaken up in really positive ways. So that's also why there could be some conversations, unexpected conversations, unexpected encounters, unexpected meetings, even like people coming into your life that normally wouldn't. Sorry, it's just the ice maker. Can be absolutely life-changing with this new moon. And you may have also noticed too, it's like if any of you guys watch readings regularly, there's so many readers that are getting a lot of the same messages of like, oh, your life is about to change. Oh, your life is about to change. Oh shit, you got some crazy new energy coming in. Oh, you're going into a whole new site. You know what I mean? Because that is totally this vibe, right? What was that? Oh, it's just the ice maker. My kitchen is like right here. So, and the fridge is like right here. Oh, my little grow light went out. So yeah, expect the unexpected, and expect the unexpected is going to bring some cool shit your way. Just be open, be receptive, patience, temperance, and have fun. Right? Most importantly, have fun. Play in it, frolic in it, frolic in it. It's beautiful energy. Was there anything I want to say here? Emotional shifts. This was something that I picked up on in my notes today. The heart-mind connection. Just the fact that we have the sun and moon in Gemini, right? It's this like, you could see it through the lens of like duality, right? With just the nature of Gemini. But I was seeing it more like the mind of Gemini being the lower mind, and touching the sun and touching the moon, touching our emotional body and touching our ego, and these like fractals of the consciousness, which is just very Gemini. But how that also relates to emotions, how that relates to the heart, and the fact that Pluto is really strongly aspecting this new moon. The new moon is actually trine Pluto in Aquarius, while sextile Ceres in Aries. And that's just like, it just feels like there is some like very deep shifts going on emotionally. They're bringing up the boo moments again. Yeah, okay. So like with these boo moments, just bringing this up again really quickly. You're not meant to hold on to them. You're not meant to like be swallowed up by them. I want to make that very clear. You're meant to observe them, and honestly, it just feels like closure to me. It does. It just feels like closure. Because like very specifically with this like quarter moon in Virgo that's like hanging out in this energy too by the end of the week, with that South Nodal Virgo Orcus energy, which is also very Plutonian and wants vengeance and justice, it just feels like, hey, the shit that like you have not had personal closure with, like let's get some closure with that. Let's get some closure with that and just like really, really, truly let that go. Even if you've like made peace with that mostly, or you don't even think about it super consciously, that's okay. There's like, we're human, we're very complex creatures. We got all kinds of shit going on in our psyches, right? Um, but it just feels like there's something that is helping with, yeah, our heart and mind connection there. Like really solidifying it, really like helping it to be like cleaner in a way and stronger in a way with all of that, with those boo moments. Um, anything else I want to mention here? I kind of mentioned that in the overview. How we tell truth, how we share information may take on a new form, right? I did mention that. Okay, last little thing about remembrance, and I think we're covered with the astrology portion. So again, we've been experiencing this remembrance in the way that I described it before. We've been experiencing that. That's not new. But what is new is Uranus, Mercury, Saturn, Ceres. It's making it so much more potent. It's making it easier for us to not only be aware of these things, but again, to fully make the choice to embody it, to walk through that door, right? This, I spoke about it on Patreon. We exist in all of time and space because we are all just one. We are a collective, we're consciousness, but like all consciousness really is just like one energy existing, right? We only experience like separation and, you know, because we're in a physical reality. But we do exist through all time and space. All of us do. And so keep in mind when we go through these moments of remembrance or awakenings or ascensions or whatever word you want to use for it, all that really is our awareness catching up to those frequencies, catching up to those dimensional realities. Once the awareness catches up, our bodies then can catch up, but it's a process and it takes a while. This new moon with this energy and these aspects are also helping our bodies to catch up. Our awareness has caught up already. And I want to say our awareness has been doing this for months, right? Catching up to what I've been calling the golden frequency. It's just the next level. That's all it is. It's just the next evolution. That's all. Higher timeline, if you want to use that word, new earth, if you want to use that word. These are all just words. I don't know, words are so primitive to me most of the time. Anyway, for months, our awareness has been catching up, and now our bodies can catch up. And that's what this is about, walking in remembrance and embodying this remembrance. And it's just really fucking exciting. It was just really exciting, and it just makes me happy. I mentioned this on Patreon too, and I mention it here as well. Yes, there are really awful things happening in the world. There are. I would never discount that. And it should make us feel things. It should make us feel things. It should make us want to do things. Just remember too that as our awareness catches up to this frequency and our bodies catch up to this frequency, that frequency is that frequency. It is the golden frequency. Anything that's not aligned to that frequency must be disintegrated. And to disintegrate, a lot of it has to be thrown into chaos. A lot of it has to be thrown into destruction, thrown into revealing and recognizing and seeing it for what it is, for it to actually disintegrate. So as we see all the awful things that are happening, all the crazy things that are happening, understand that it is also a side effect, a symptom of that. Not discounting the awfulness of it, not justifying anything. It's not the point of why I'm saying this. It's a reminder. It's a reminder of the multifacetedness of all that is occurring around us right now. Right? Right. Now, that being said, I spoke a lot. I feel like I talked a lot. So for where all of this stuff, all of this remembrance, these breakthroughs, all these things, I kind of mentioned it already, but I would prioritize Gemini, Aries. Definitely look at Aquarius if you want to, but I would prioritize Gemini and Aries, 0 to 5 degrees. And keep in mind, Uranus is still playing in the late degrees of Taurus, 25 to 29 degrees, which would just bleed into 0 to 5 degrees Gemini, for where all this will be going down. Now, as far as like unexpected conversations and inspirations and encounters and things like that, I would keep your eye on Taurus 25 degrees to Gemini 5 degrees. Is where I would keep your eyes peeled for the unexpected. I don't know, it's just exciting. It's exciting. It's just exciting shit. Yeah, so that's all the astrology. Let's like take a minute before we get into cards. So for those just coming in, I definitely don't have the bandwidth to do signs today. So I preemptively decided on groups, and I already chose an animal card for each group. And I also have dice as well. I didn't roll the dice yet. I'll do that during the reading. But I'll do my best to like, so you guys can like, you know, see like the card to do the actual picking, if you will. But then we're going to go back to regular format to do the readings. Here. Yeah. Yeah, let's just like take a minute. Let's chill for a minute. My throat is like suddenly not happy at all. Hey, Blue. Happy New Moon Gemini. Happy New Moon Gemini, Michelle. Let's see. Let's see. Caught alive again. Well, hi. Happy. Glad you're here. How does one know which animal spirit are they? So it's a big question. And if anybody, you know, you guys been watching for a while, you guys know I don't really believe in simple answers necessarily, because I do believe that there are infinite like lenses of truth, and you know, also realities in a way. Everyone's got their own story, right? Everyone's got their own story. Can only speak to my experience on that. How do I want to say this? I believe we have animal guides and guardians. And I believe some of them are very obvious and prominent since childhood. And I think that there are some that, you know, come and join in for the party, so to speak, or just come in when we need them for a certain phase of our life. As far as like being an animal spirit, I believe we can embody anything we want to. We decide to consciously embody animal, plant, etc. I do believe that like if you take time to connect with a certain animal or a certain plant or etc., or you know, crystal, whatever, you can start embodying that energy in that way, in that fashion. So I guess that's my answer. But as far as like animal guides and guardians, again, I think some of them are just obvious. Like if you grew up being super obsessed with a particular animal or had very peculiar experiences with a particular animal over and over and over again, or like they come up in your dreams a lot, you know, I think those are pretty clear indications of having a prominent animal guide or guardian, you know. I'm so excited to share how my weekend went. Oh yeah, your weekend. I forgot. I hope it was fun. I'm sure it was fun, right? Please tell me it was fun. Well, you said you're excited, so yeah, I assume. Let's see. If there's time, I'd love to hear your thoughts on deja vu. My partner has had a few of them with us for things we haven't experienced before in this lifetime anyways. For me, I just perceive deja vu as like sometimes I think they're like weird timeline glitchy things. But I would say the last like couple years when I've had deja vu, to me it's actually an indication of something is shifting. Um, of something is shifting, or I've like shifted into that reality before. But I also dream walk, you know? So that's why I perceive it that way. But yeah, if I'm having deja vu a lot, I pay attention. I definitely pay attention. Like, oh, timeline's not so solid. It's how I see that. Mm. Oh, yes. Okay, are we ready? Ready to pick a cards? Actually, I don't even know what the cards are because of the way that I picked them out. But yeah, let me get that camera angled here. Let's see if we can do this easily. Oh, that's not too bad. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see. Okay. All right. So I don't know if the image is mirrored or not, but I'm deciding this is group 1, this is group 2, and this is group 3. Keep in mind, I haven't rolled the dice yet. So if you're like reading the dice, just letting you know I haven't. Just getting the timestamp here. Okay. Excuse me. Now, before picking the card, actually, I'm glad I'm not showing them immediately. I always like to recommend to just take a minute, take like a breath, you know, even 3 breaths. Be generous. Be generous with your body, right? You're just letting yourself get focused on just you, just your energy, and not what you're looking at. And as you connect with yourself and you ask yourself, which group is for me? And allow your first inclination to be the group that you choose. Whether it's 1, 2, or 3. Not even seeing the card yet. I'll give you guys a couple minutes for that, maybe a couple minutes, but you know, at least a few more moments for that. And then we're going to reveal the cards, which will be kind of fun. I'm seeing a lot of 3s. It's interesting. Okay. All right. Let's go in for the reveal. So group 1. Ooh. Hawk. Very nice. Very nice. Group 2. Ooh. The frog. Feeling some boo moments for group 2. I'm getting strong travel, group 1. Getting really strong travel with you. And group 3? Oh, 0 point, huh? The Fool, huh? So group 1, group 2, group 3. Let's go ahead and get started. Ah! I'm not working on as big of a table with this. Okay. Oh, geez. Hold on a second. Bleh. It was so perfect before. Oh, okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right. Put those off to the side. Oh, perfect. Okay, group 1. So you guys have Hawk. I'm feeling super strong travel energy. Like super strong travel, or like literally going and visiting people or visiting certain spaces. The Hawk, when the Hawk comes out, to me, it's that indication that spirit is nudging you hard. That spirit is like, go left, go right, go now, hurry, you must. Not always like that, but I feel like there's something very fast paced about your energy. Like it's giving me 8 of Wands, which I don't normally feel that with Hawk, but that's what I'm feeling with you, group 1. I feel Eight of Wands, super strong. So it's like a lot of communication, a lot of physical activity, or like literal traveling and or moving. And spirit is nudging you hard, and you're just following that guidance. I do also feel like because there's so much fast energy with you, I feel like spirit's almost closer to you. Wow, my eyes are so red when you don't sleep, right? I do feel like spirit is like way louder with you and closer to you for those who are traveling and are moving. Like almost like you are being a little like extra protected than you normally would be. Let's go ahead and roll the dice here. For group 1. Can I get some astrology associations for group 1? Oh, fell off the table. Oh. Okay. So we have the 4th house. We have, I can never hold these upright. Cancer. I don't know if it's focusing. We have 4th house in Cancer. And we have the North Node. Interesting. Some of you guys could have North Node, Cancer or Capricorn. Some of you guys could be an Aries rising. Some of you guys could be Cancer rising. But to me, I'm actually in more of that Aries energy. And like even with this Eight of Wands energy I keep feeling here, that's more Mercury Sag. So I'm just getting like, actually, you know what? I'm getting the cardinals. That's what I am. Yeah, I'm getting cardinal energies. So group 1, oh my God, is that how this is going to go? Because I was debating if I should do elements or not. And if we end up having a group of like cardinal energy, fixed energy, and mutable energy, that's just going to be too funny. But yeah, I'm getting very strong cardinal energy with group 1. So Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra. Cancer being the most prominent. Some of you, it's funny, could be like, just feeling the shift of Jupiter going from Gemini to Cancer as well. But I mean, this is like, oh, okay, thank you. I like that. I like that for this group. I was getting really strong family vibes, and then I got a couple different vibes even with that. Almost like obligation. Some of you, there may be this, you may have like just like this nudge from spirit, or even like divine intervention comes in to kind of force you to spend some more time with your family, or almost like help your family. It feels like a call too for some of you. You might get a call about like family or family member. Even like the moving energy is big here too. North Node has that flavor of dharma, has that flavor of destiny, has that flavor of like you can't outrun who you are. You can't outrun who you are. Oh, you can't outrun who you are. The other thing, I'm going to circle back to this because there's something interesting there karmically with family with that. Yeah, some of you, it's almost like there could be a little bit of confronting not just family obligations, but like family karma. That's interesting. Some of you have probably identified as lineage breakers. Yeah, that's interesting. Because when we complete cycles, right? Whether you are a lineage breaker, you're breaking generational shit, or you're just moving out of a cycle into a new one, it's reminding me of the boo moments. Like sometimes when we have moved into something new, the old just glimpses in real quick, like a little reminder of what you just went through, of what you have just completed. And so if any of you feel like you have recently overcame some ancestral things, some generational things, you may actually be confronted by your family in some way, shape, or form. And I keep getting like a phone call, or it's like a sudden event, or it's like, hey, we need you. Hey, this shit happened. This shit is going on. Can you come? Or you may even just feel like you need to go and be there or be around for some reason. That's not for everybody, but it's like that's a very prominent energy. And it's almost like if you have just broken a cycle, Broken a chain. Interesting. Broken the karma. I don't think that's accurate, but it's just how it wants to be said. You'll be confronted by that, because that solidifies it. That solidifies the completion. If you can be confronted by it and maintain this newness, maintain at like where you're at now, that solidifies the true completion of it. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, some interesting. Some of you may actually like take the lead in your family. That's coming up as well. Like suddenly your family may look to you in a way that they haven't before. I think that would be an indication that you have actually broken something generationally, right? It's almost like recognition of being the lineage breaker for some of you, if they're looking to you in that way. The other thing I was getting with family is belonging and tribe. Chosen family. Chosen family. Obviously for some of you that could be bio family too. But I was getting that as well. And that actually feels like a reward. That feels like dharma to me. That feels like dharma. Like Spirit's like, okay, it's time. You gots to go. Hold on, I'm trying to hold these up again. Right? It's time. Go be with the tribe. Go be home. Belonging, right? North Node, again, that dharma energy. That's very cool. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's pull some cards, group one. Oh, it's gonna be nice and fun because we don't have to just stick with a couple decks. Now, dragons have been coming up a lot, so I think I might use the dragon deck maybe for everyone. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Excuse me. Ooh. I'm like, where do I want to? I like, whoa, where do I want to go? I like, ooh, the freedom. You know what? Let's pull from the Fae first. Let's pull from a little bit of the Fae. Also, because I'm recording in this space, I don't have all my decks with me because they're at my desk. But let's see. Any messages or insights for group one? It's interesting too because all the cardinal energy. Cardinals are leaders. They are. Cardinals have a lot of energy. Cardinals like to do. Cardinals like to take action. They can be the matriarchs, the patriarchs. Cancer, Capricorn, right? This feels exciting. Any messages or insights for group one, please? Where is the Clydester? I think he's in his windowsill. Interesting. So we have Indy. This is decisions. This is a card of making decisions and a card of balance. And then we have Town the Poet. I love this card. This is an allure. That's a pull. Not quite a call. It's like, it's more seductive and sensual, but it also speaks of like poetry and writing and, inspired energy. And interestingly enough, Town the Poet sometimes waits for travelers. I'm saying travelers, but it's like waits for people to like be walking on a path in a certain way, shape, or form, to intervene. To see if they'll notice if, that they're being intervened with. So divine intervention is a big theme here for you, group one. And it's putting you in a position to choose. Because you have free will, right? Even if Spirit throws a tower, throws the wheel of fortune your way, even if Spirit shows up in your bedroom and is like, hey, you gotta go now, right? You still get to decide at the end of the day. So whatever you're being nudged about, whatever you're being called towards, pulled towards, inclined to go a certain way or inclined to embrace a certain situation or people or even like a place, like home, again, belonging, you get to choose on how you do that and if you even want to. Some of you may have a moment of hesitation of, is this right? Is this not right? Especially if like you are confronted with like family or family matters, if you identify as a lineage breaker. Because some of you may question yourself like, oh, am I regressing? This came up earlier too. Why would I go back? Right? Why would I go back? That's interesting. Can I get a third card, please? No matter which way you cut it, this group has absolutely completed something generational. Whether you're about to be led to some soul tribe, a sense of a place of belonging, they're saying a place of belonging, a place of home, or you're about to be confronted by your bio family, the family that you have been breaking away from in these, generational things. Soulless. You're being led to soulless. That's super positive. That's super positive. Soulless with 13 breaking down to a 4. Soulless is like the sun, right? Soulless is illumination. Dare I even say life force in a way. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure in the book, soulless also is described as almost like being like in between realms. Like he's kind of akin to the singers in this deck. And if you're not familiar with this deck, there's a classification of the cards called singers, and they're just frequency. They're just energy. They're just vibration. This is the vibration of the sun. This is vibration of, well, dare I even say the light of creator, right? Highly positive. Also speaks of new beginnings. That's where spirit is leading you. That's where spirit is leading you. And it's up to you to decide if you want to or not. Up to you. Let's pull a dragon card. Oh, ouch. All right. By the way, all the decks that I use are linked below for your convenience if you're new and you're liking the decks that I'm using. Can I get a dragon for group 1? This makes me feel scared but very warm in the chest kind of thing. No idea of details, but it's nice to hear. Good. I'm glad it's making you feel good. Oh, you got 2. Blink. It's reminding me of what we talked about in the Patreon Live. Earth and Fire Dragon. Just taking the image here. Look at the way he's like leaning on that rock with the spiral and connecting with it. Some of you may feel like you commune with nature a lot. Works with you to clear 5th dimensional ley lines. It's time for service. When you give, you receive. This is basically saying it's time to show up. Which we kind of knew that, right? It's time to show up with a certain group of people. It's time to show up in a certain place. It's time to show up. It's time to show up. But this type of dragon also speaks specifically to clearing as well and grid work. Again, for those who feel very strongly tied to nature, that's part of that energy. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. For my patrons watching, you're gonna know. You're gonna know. So cool. White gold dragon from Lyra. I know my patrons remember what we talked about in the live. Connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your casual chakra. Bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. It's reminding me of Solus. Of the light of creator. That golden frequency that I've been talking about. That our bodies are catching up to. Where our awareness has already been. Ta-da! There it is. There it is. This is what you are embracing. This is your body catching up. Oh, group 1, I'm so excited for you. Your body's catching up to this. Your body's catching up to this. Whether you want to call it New Earth or whatever, that's what this is. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if you end up traveling, like having to travel or having to move with it's time to show up, because your body is catching up to the physical reality of the golden frequency. Or, or again, some people would say New Earth. Very nice. Group 1, I think you would be a group that would be very impacted with your solar plexus, okay? I talked about this on Patreon about like the words, I'm sorry. The golden light and how that has been working on the solar plexus. Like specifically the golden light. We have the white gold dragon here. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've been having stuff with your digestion. Very cool. Love it. Love it. Where do we want to go next with this? I feel like your video. I feel like your reading's going to be very short because it's just like very clear to the point. Let's go ahead and pull some unicorns here. But I know some of y'all like it a little short. That's yummy. Right? Right? All right, using the unicorn deck for you guys. Any messages or insights for group 1? 6 of Swords. Travel. Moving. Judgment. A call. A nudge. I must go. I must go now. I think I must. Spirit is on my butt about it. 6 of Swords can also be a card of shifting perception or shifting perspective, I guess is what I should say. Opening your mind to, a new belief, a new way. But with so much emphasis on travel, and the 6 of Swords coming out here, I feel like, again, that's just really confirming that. I also am getting acceptance. Sorry, I just got reminded of somebody. Radical acceptance. Radical acceptance. Freya's coming into the space. Radical acceptance. Yeah, some of you guys are going to have a moment where you fight this if you haven't already. Anything else for group 1? With radical acceptance with this, some of you forgiveness is part of that too. I'm also feeling group 2 there. So keep in mind too with my readings, when I do pick a cards, I usually only do 3. I just love 3. It's a magical number for so many reasons. But I find that the groups can be intermingled. Like I can see how sometimes it's almost like phases, like moving from one phase to the next, like progression. Sometimes I can see it as a manifestation of like the emotional experience, the physical experience, or the spiritual experience, or the energetic experience. So just, just keep that in mind. I'm excited for you guys. We have 3 of Pentacles, and on the bottom we have the Hierophant. Hierophant being obligations and contracts, institutions. I just heard legal. So there may be some paperwork involved in this for some of you guys. Documents. I'm hearing documents. The 3 of Pentacles, though. The 3 of Pentacles is building on something new. Whether that's new plans, new friendships, new ideas, but wherever you're headed, it is new for you. And you're about to expand on that. It's almost like immediately you're working on the bare bones of something new and making something really solid. You're starting to build a solid foundation with wherever you're going, whatever you're taking on, with where Spirit's trying to guide you to. And 3 of Pentacles is also my card of friendship as well. You're not alone in this. Look at all the horses you got in the Six of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, even the Hierophant. There's a lot of unicorn. I said horses. There's a lot of unicorns in each of these cards. You're not alone in this at all. You're doing this with other people. Chosen family or bio family. The world. Some of you guys may go to another country. Just saying. Foreign friends. Interesting. And then underneath that, we have Page of Swords with Justice under the World card, also speaking to legalities and documents and paperwork. I feel like you guys are going to be presented with some sort of contract, or you're going to initiate a contract. That could even be a lease, by the way. That could be a lease. That could be like a 6-month contractual job. That could be getting a new job. That could be working it out with a friend if you guys are going to do something together. But yeah, I can't imagine you're going to say no. I can't imagine you're going to be like, nah, I'm chill. I don't see you doing that. This feels very strong in the like spiritual push department, you know, buying a home. Because it's a general reading, especially with the 4th house being here, you know, very possible. I don't see cards that indicate buying a home. That would be like 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups, like something that has like more structure. This is like building and working up to that. So this could be like working out details to buy a home, but that would be Pentacles is a far away energy time-wise. It would be far away from actually purchasing, but it could be like getting ready to. There's the hesitation. I don't see you saying no. I really don't. But you're going to have a moment of like, the 8 of Swords being there. We also have the Knight of Wands at the bottom. Again, more emphasis on just like action, movement. There's that 8 of Wands that I was getting with you. Action, movement, go, go. Ooh, with the Tower. Hold on a second. Okay, this is interesting. Look at this. So I just was looking at the bottom. We have Knight of Wands with the 8 of Wands. That's that fast ass energy. Oh, it's so hard to say. That I'm feeling with you of movement, right? We have the Tower with the 4 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. There's an Ace of Swords here with the 4 and the 3 tied to the Tower. That is a wake-up call. That is a, oh my God, I need to. Oh my God, I see. Oh my God, I know. And with the 4 of Swords, this could literally be happening like at night or in your sleep while you're sleeping. 4 of Swords is a card of like rest and recovery and literally speaks to sleeping hours or sleeping states or sleeping time. It's almost like when... It's interesting too because the 3 of Swords is here. I am hearing licking the wounds. So it's almost like when you're having a moment of like, some of you could be feeling stuck. Some of you could just be feeling kind of angsty. Three of Swords doesn't always have to be painful. But licking the wounds kind of alludes to that for some of you. But it can also be a card of discomfort. With all of this tension with Mars and Uranus and all that, and all this temperance energy, you could be feeling angsty and trying to relax. Some of you are trying to sleep on something you can't shake. So I'm getting a lot of different things here. So whether you're taking time to lick your wounds about something, some disappointment, deal with your own angst or frustrations or anxieties, some of you, there's something that you're feeling in your soul and you can't shake it, but it's making you very uncomfortable. And I'm hearing like you sleep on it. Some of you may actually set intentions right before you go to sleep. And that's going to offer some clarity. And the clarity is like the freaking Tower with that Ace of Swords energy. And that Tower is going to prompt you to like, it's going to light a fire under your butt is what it's going to do. It's literally going from like trying to rest, trying to be okay, trying to deal, meh, kind of meh. You know, it's literally going from that to, I got to go now. I got to act now, like right now. That's crazy. Keep a dream journal. Keep a dream journal, and setting intentions before you go to sleep of like what you want clarity on in your life is incredibly powerful. I highly recommend it as an exercise. But let's get back to the main stuff of the reading here. We have the Six of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. That Eight of Swords is limiting beliefs. The Eight of Swords can also be fear. It can also be a little bit of hesitation. The Six and the Eight is there's a Two of Swords energy, decisions, which we knew because Indy was the first card out here. So I'm getting a couple things here. You could be kind of torn about this, and then you're like, I'm gonna sleep on it. And then in your sleep, boom, that Tower with the Ace of Swords, that wake up call hits you, and you're like, I gotta go now. I gotta do this now. I gotta take action now. Another thing that I'm getting is that some of you, because you're not alone in any of this, you're not alone in any of this. The only way you're alone is in the Eight of Swords energy, up in the mind, right? But some of you, someone could be having a wake-up call, and they present you with something. And you go, oh, shit. Oh, I just got chills. I just got chills. And you're like, oh, you want to do what? You want to go where? You want to get involved in And you want me to do what? So exciting. Could also be reversed. Okay. Let's get a final card, please, for group one. And then I think we'll close this out. They're just sorry. Spirit is so funny. They're just reiterating the wake-up call. Tower, Four of Swords with the Five of Wands. Five of Wands being conflict, internal conflict, and angst. Or you may have been going through something that has been really unpleasant, and then you got to go lick your wounds, and that's when you have this like wake-up call here. Kind of funny. Love you, Spirit. Yeah, Knight of Wands still at the bottom. I'm curious what the top is. Oh. This is not for everybody. Not for everybody. Group one, if you're in that boat where someone like proposes something to you, I hate to be one of those, like, I hate to like say this and be like one of those readings, but I'm seeing what I'm seeing. They've been sitting on some intense feelings and passions, I want to say. I'm gonna just say energies. Some intense energies as it relates to you. And this is why they've needed to sit, like, something they can't shake, something they feel kind of like weird about, and they just don't understand, they just don't get it. And then they have the wake-up call because they move into acceptance about what it is they're actually sensing, what they're actually feeling about you. I'm just going to show you the cards really briefly, and then we're going to move on to group two, because I pulled a lot because I was like, wait, what is going on here? So we have the Moon with the Nine of Pentacles. I just got something about secret money. You or someone might be hush-hush about your financial situation, like not wanting people to know how much money you have. That's coming through a little bit. But I'm also seeing this as a confident, like solid, independent person as well. And there's something like in the psyche with the Moon and the Hanged Man that is like emotional but stuck about the Nine of Pentacles energy. The Lovers, a card of alignment and choice. The Devil, the distortion of the Lovers. Ace of Wands. When you have the Devil and the Ace of Wands, that is the epitome of lust, by the way. It's like in tarot, like that is like the prime example of someone who who can't think straight because they're so hot. They're in so much heat. So, like, about somebody. Like, think passion and sexual energy like turned all the way up, and then you don't really know what to do with yourself about it. It's that kind of energy. And then death, some sort of transformation. I really am feeling that breakthrough because with the tower, but some sort of transformation, I want to say, of the devil energy here to unleash the lovers. So yeah, just for those who are in that boat. Very interesting. Okay, let's get into group 2. I just felt something on group 1 still. Just a Page of Swords kind of vibe. Anyway, all needs to be said. Group 2. I'm really feeling that Devil Ace of Wands energy, and I'm just trying to like shove it away. Okay. Interesting timestamp, group 2. 1:40:40. My head's feeling better though. Good. All right. Group 2. The frog. The froggy frog. This is emotional clearing. This is emotional cleansing. Purification by water, if you will. You're making peace with something. You're finally letting go of something. You're finally, I want to say, finally allowing something to not be part of your narrative anymore, to not be part of your load anymore, is what this feels like. You're definitely healing. You're definitely healing. But let's roll some dice here for you. That's all I'm really getting from that. Oh, no, I lied. The heart chakra. The heart chakra. Something just feels like it's being calibrated, being harmonized, maybe even being opened for some of you. You're ready, group 2. You're more ready than you realize to not feel these things anymore, to not think about these things anymore. I want to say too, it's like they're reminding me of the boo moments and like the pain points, especially in terms of Venus and relationships. There may be a particular event from your past. I want to say a particular relationship, even imprint. That's an interesting word. A particular imprint from these experiences. I want to say like the way you've been scarred by something, honestly. Once you really allow yourself, give yourself the permission to actually let it go, that's when you leap. That's when you leap. I think you're aware that this has like affected you, that you've been affected by whatever this is. I think you've been very aware of that. But I don't think you've been aware of how much it's actually been, I want to say, keeping for like some like new experiences from coming into your life. And for some of you, relationships coming into your life, friendships included. But yeah, let's roll some dice here. You guys want to call it? I love playing this game with you. I'm sure one of them's going to be Venus or the moon. Or maybe Mars. Maybe Mars. I'm guessing Venus, Mars, or moon. I'm going to guess 7th house, 3rd house, 10th house. Maybe Aries, maybe Scorpio, maybe Pisces. That's what I'm going to guess. I'm going to give you all a couple, a few more moments. We can keep just, playing with the dice. Wish me, wait. Imagine about to connect with my masculine. Wish me Tantra on this new moon. Oh, congratulations. Good luck. I wish you all the best. All right, we ready? Let's see. Oh, I got one. Pisces. Pisces showing up here. Again, so hard to hold the dice up, right? Wait a minute. Oh no, did I not grab the right die? Hold on a second. Oh, I grabbed 2 signs on accident. Well, maybe that wasn't an accident. I meant to grab a planet, a sign, and a house die for each one, and I grabbed 2 signs. So we're just gonna roll with it. And then we have Sag. Interesting energies, actually. And then we have 11th house. It's interesting because Pisces and Sag would be square each other. They are mutable. I'm telling you, I feel like we got a cardinal group, a mutable group, and a fixed group. So group 1 was cardinal, group 2 is mutable. Just saying. It's like Pisces and Sag. But they would be square each other. Which, like, is difficult. Like, that's difficult. Maybe some of you, there was a traumatic relationship where there was like a prominent like Pisces Sag energy to it. Actually, they both have Jupiter in common. But Pisces has that Neptune influence as well. Yeah, I'm almost getting illusions, like illusions and fantasy. Excess and indulgence is what I'm getting to. Like really wild, untamed, really wild and untamed. Not in a good way either. Yeah, that's interesting because I feel relationships with you really strongly. I mean, we had relationships in group 1 too, but it's interesting that we had 2 sign die for your group here. And I keep feeling like you're releasing something in the realm of relationship trauma. But as far as like what your personal placements could be, or even like someone from your past or someone you may know, let me just do the math on it really quickly. Taurus and Aquarius. Some of you guys could be a Taurus rising or Aqua rising. You could also be Pisces rising or Sag rising. I only say that because we do have the 11th house energy here, right? So just accounting for that. So Taurus rising, Aqua rising, Pisces rising, or Sag rising. Doesn't have to be. You don't have to have those placements. It's just dictated by the dice here. But 11th house is an Aquarian house. So Aquarius is also prominent here in this reading as well. And Pluto's in Aquarius, as we know. So there is this like digging up that has been happening. And Pluto, like I mentioned, is working with the new moon in Gemini very closely in that trine, while it's also part of the minor grand trine of remembrance. So I can see the nod to Pluto here as well. But the 11th house is the house of wishes. There's also like, technology and community and humanitarianism and innovation, invention, all of that, intelligence, all of that stuff too. But they wanted me to focus on it being the house of wishes. I keep getting that whatever you've been afflicted by, the actual experiences had a lot of illusion, had a lot of fantasy. I want to say indulgence, excess, wasn't rooted in reality, which isn't always bad. But if that's all there was, that's when things can get out of control. And that's what I'm getting. Just a very out of control experience. Maybe even your shadows were really out of control. Yeah, I keep getting like partners is what I keep getting. Whether that's like romantic or like besties or work colleagues. It feels more like than that, like romantic, because I feel like there was a lot of just like intensity. There was a lot of just wildness. I just keep getting wild, like reckless even at times. I feel like your shadows were out. Hold on, somebody's coming in here. Yeah, I'm getting pulled to celestial bodies that are about partnership, like Juno, Venus, like for examples. I forget who it was. Someone had brought up Eros the other day, and I did do some research recently. So Eros and Psyche could also be prominent placements here for you in Pisces or Sag. Again, not necessarily, but it's like they're even thinking about it, Pisces is feminine and Sag is masculine. And there is something kind of overpowering about the Sag energy that I'm feeling here against the Pisces. Like being dominated almost. Yeah, like being dominated. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like I'm just glimpsing into what you're releasing there. Let's pull some cards. Where do we want to go for group 2? We're going to go with the pocket archetypes. Okay, I don't know why these two were turned over. I was just shuffling them and I noticed they were like all turned the opposite direction, but they fit in what's going on here. So, you know, everything always happens the way it needs to happen. The underworld and Gem. It just screams Pluto to me. That's what Pluto does. This is what Pluto does. So does Saturn, actually. It's like they're very similar, but they work kind of different. They both create diamonds. But Pluto refines. Pluto's more of a refiner than Saturn is. And Underworld just screams Pluto. Yeah, Pluto may be very prominent for you, like in your chart right now, or whenever this originally occurred, or even just generally, Pluto could be important in your chart. It's like Pluto is all over your reading here too. Through that underworld energy, you're being refined. It's like, it's just, I can feel the sadness. I can just feel the sadness. I can just feel the emotion. Some of you could have been doing like some shadow work recently. Some of you may feel like you're coming out of an initiation. It's reminding me of the channel message that came through earlier of like, I survived. I survived. I made it out the other side. I survived. Some of you, maybe it was that extreme, you know, where maybe there was this like threat of like even physical harm. Because it's kind of given me like, I walked through hell and I'm coming out a diamond. It's like, it's kind of giving me those vibes. And maybe that's how you saw this situation or saw this relationship. Again, it's giving me relationship vibes. If it's not a relationship for you, it's not a relationship for you. But it's definitely exacerbated shadow, like shadow to the max kind of a situation. Totally wild, totally untamed. And that can get scary when we're talking about human shadows and there's no checks in place. No, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm getting with that. Can I get another card for group 2? Interesting. We have some masculine energy coming through here with the Father. I'm trying to get it to focus. So Father can be similar to like a divine masculine energy, right? Where it is like protective and it's safe. It's protective, it's safe, it's reliable. Oh, shoot, sorry. It's protective, it's safe, it's reliable. That feels like it's missing. Why is the Father here? Because it's like, I want to say if the Father energy was there, would you have gone through hell? Probably not. Right? Probably not. Probably not. Some of you, this relationship could be between you and like a fatherly energy or a patriarchal energy or a masculine, right? Romantic or no, it could even be a family member or even like a work situation. Because if the Father energy was showing up in an exalted way, it wouldn't have been hell. Yeah, I'm hearing prepared. Like you didn't feel prepared for something. Some of you, maybe this is like, there is a sense of naivety here. And now we have the mirror with the moon in the background. It's giving me Gemini. I feel like this is a glimpse into the shadow component of what has gone on here that you're releasing. Like shadow masculine for sure. And I want to say what has been missing. Like maybe what got you caught up in this situation initially. Yes, shadow masculine, but like, how do I want to say? Like, I feel like you weren't seeing something clearly, right? With mirror, that mirror speaks of reflections, projections, illusions, even getting clarity through illusions, right? And then, yeah, it's like, that's just the vibe I'm getting, where it's like, maybe you thought this kind of energy was there, a sense of safety and security, and it really was not. And it really was not. But you thought you saw that. You might have projected this onto somebody. Because that's just what you wanted. They could have, projected that image. But I think the former is more probable. Can I get another card, please, for group 2? Yep, we got one more. The eternal child. We now have the father and the child. I mean, let's just call a spade, right? It's like, I think this is going to be for people where there has been some very lacking, that's not grammatically correct, lacking, where there was probably lacking of actual safe energies or safe masculine energies in your life. And because of that lack, because of that void, you projected that on to another person, or projected it into a situation, thinking, just assuming or thinking, oh, they're this, there's that, and the other, or this is that and the other, and it really was not. You were not prepared. And again, I know it's going to sound dramatic, but it's like you met the devil and no one told you the devil existed. It's a strong statement. It's like you walked into hell with the devil and no one told you any of that was even real. And for some of you, it is that extreme. Some of you, it's more minor. Take it as it resonates. But I also need to speak to, sorry, I just heard all these mathematical terms. When I deliver these messages, I'm speaking to so many people that I try my best to like touch on everyone, as you guys know. But sometimes when they come out so extreme in that way, it's because I'm reaching the far ends of the container, right? The far ends of the spectrum. That's a better way to say it. I'm reaching the far ends of the spectrum of people who have experienced this. On the bottom, we have the tear. I think some of y'all were dealing with some gnarly demons. I gotta be honest with you. Like, for real. Like, gnarly demons. Okay. Let's pull some cards. I'm gonna go with the Egyptian gods for you. Well, that was quick. Ooh. Ooh. Not bad, just whoa. Khonshu with Hermitage. There's a couple things that I'm getting off of this. I'm actually feeling inclined to read it. Maybe I should just read it. Because I am getting the journey. I'm literally getting like the traveler, being on the journey, right? Being on the path and all the things we encounter on the journey. Like literally just emphasizing where you've been, where you came from, and how you got here, right? Like that's kind of what I'm getting here. But I'm also getting that sage energy too. Group 2, I feel like you are reflecting on a dark night of the soul phase experience. And I think you're reflecting on your journey. Some of you may see it as initiation. But yeah, I want to read that one. And then we're going to pull another. Oh, god of the moon. Of illusions, reflections, and projections. Interesting. I think you saw what you wanted to see. I think that's honestly how you got into this. You saw what you wanted to see. No judgment. Lots of love and compassion. Because you've clearly been through some shit. Okay? God of the moon, time, and knowledge. His name means traveler. That's exactly what I was feeling. The wanderer. Khonshu is the admiral of human destinies. He is depicted as a mummified young child. Wow. He represents the synthesis of the beauty of youth, the archetype of youthful amazement and spontaneity. Like other child deities, he symbolizes the potential that lies in all of us. Be open to new ideas and be brave and bold in facing up to the unknown that presents itself to you. Possibility of journeys that take you away from your comfort zone. Whoa. Again, it's just funny how spirit works. It says, in love, you may experience new favorable beginnings. I swore it said, I love you. I swore that's what it said there. But no, it's in love, you may experience new favorable beginnings. Very interesting. There was so much in there where I was like, oh, yep. Everything that we've been reading here today for your group, even the getting out of your comfort zone. This is why this is that moment to really release this. Because again, like this is what I was getting when we were just focusing on the frog energy. Like once you truly let this go, the opportunities and people that just kind of like flood into your life easily. I mean, I think it's going to shock you. I think it's not even going to make sense because I'm almost getting this too. It's where it's like, maybe that's also been your experience, like very safe, happy, joyful, pleasurable things, people, experiences, etc. Like just don't come into your life easy. Like it's hard to find them or it's hard to like have those experiences. But it is time to receive it with ease. But because like this has affected you so much, it's taken up that space and you're kind of holding that frequency of that experience, right? And in that same way, it's going to be hard to like embody that gold frequency that we're talking about for the collective today. And interesting too that like it's a child deity, eternal child. It's a child deity. This might have happened to you when you were a child, or it really affected your inner child, right? I know I already said it. It needs to be said again. I think some of you really need to hear that confirmation. It would be confirmation. Deep down, you would already know the truth. Deep down, you would already know the truth. You either had family members or friends or a lover or lovers like that had like serious demons. And I mean demons, okay? Not just like, oh, they've got, you know, obviously unchecked shadow is part of this. Like, oh, they just got some problems. Like, no. Like, and it may even have presented as like serious, like, serious, like substance abuse. Or moments of just like a lot of mental instability. Sending you hugs. The last line of that description also caught me. In love, you may be moving into new experiences and new beginnings. Because I'm looking at what you've been through. Whatever you've been through, there was no love there. Any other messages or insights for group 2? You need a good cry. And again, I think you've probably spent a good amount of your journey like healing from this. It's the final tether. It's the final cord. It's the final, I am done with this. I survived. You survived. Say that to yourself. Feel that out. Like say it out loud and see how it makes you feel in your body. To say, I survived that. Can I get another card for group 2? Oh, very cool. Hi. We have Shu with order and peace. All is right in the world. Group 2. Oh, I love that. It's interesting because it's not Ma'at, right? Ma'at would be, you know, harmonization, resolution, justice. No, Shu is more of a cosmic force. Shu is actually bigger than Ma'at. Shu holds more weight than Ma'at. Shu is like, if my understanding is correct, we may read this too, just for funsies. If I remember correctly from mythology, Shu holds the universe together, if I remember that correctly. That's the kind of peace and order you're moving into here. Yeah, let's go ahead and read that. Yeah, I think he's one of the original. So that's interesting too about the Egyptian pantheon that I find so fascinating. Totally worth reading about it. Oh, I wish I had a link for it. The Book of Doors is amazing. In the Egyptian pantheon, there's actually various primordial creator gods, and they have polarity too. I don't know what that was. Anyway, moving on. Shu. Just had to speak on it. I just think that stuff is so cool. Okay. Primordial god, son of Amun-Ra, who personifies the air, the wind, but also the light that broke the primordial darkness. His name means he who rises. Shu is commonly portrayed with an ostrich feather on his head. The ostrich feather is a symbol of lightness and purity. The air meaning breath of life. Breathing life again. Group 2. Breathing new life. Okay? Some of you may feel like you're being reborn here, going through a rebirth. Wait, where was I? Sorry. The ostrich feather is a symbol of lightness and purity. The air meaning breath of life and cooling breeze. This card advises you to adopt a more disciplined form of behavior. Try to avoid uncontrolled impulses. Sorry, laughing a little bit here, just speaking about all the wild energy, right? Try to avoid uncontrolled impulses of desires and passions. The time has come to lighten and rebalance your life. Respect rules with greater responsibility. I think when you were going through this hellscape, again, it just seems like total wild, like totally wild. No structure, no nothing, just wild. Primal, right? So it's interesting this is coming in here, because it is also a form of maturity. It's a form of maturity, which is also a form of evolution and just growth, right? But it also reflects your healing too. Whoever you were involved with, they were out of control, but so were you. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You could have been a child. Children are kind of out of control. You know? It's kind of normal for them. That's their nature. That's what they're allowed to be. They're allowed to be a little out of control, kind of. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Kids will be kids. Kids should be allowed to be children. Children should be allowed to be children. But obviously, we teach them how to become adults, right? Obviously. Just need to be clear. This is the internet. People take things and run with it. But some of you weren't. Some of you weren't a child. Some of you, this was a romantic relationship. And it's okay. If you haven't forgiven yourself for that yet, maybe it's time to forgive yourself. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. Let's do glow in the dark for you, and then we're going to move on to group 3. I know we spent quite a bit of time on your reading, but it felt necessary. I love that all of you guys are asking about Clyde. I'm pretty sure he's sleeping in the windowsill, I think. I hope. He doesn't really like this light, which I can't blame him, you know? Oh, I gotta remember to take the trash out. Can't forget. Cannot forget. Any messages or insights for group 2? Any other messages or insights for group 2? Okay. Hermit is poking out with the 4 swords. So this tells me isolation. Isolation, going within, being with only your energy. Probably to do some healing and to do some releasing. What is cool here, though, is that on the table, we have the 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy, with the Sun, Leo energy. You guys can be cuspers, not necessarily. But the 8 of Pentacles is that shoe energy. Okay? It's structure, it's order, it's discipline, it's work, it's effort, it's investment. It's I'm hearing intention and purpose. It's working, which is just a form of devotion, with intention and purpose, and being very disciplined about it and being very accountable to yourself about it. And what is born out of that is some sort of new beginning, some sort of liberation. It's almost like you're, in releasing this, you're also actively, very physically, very tangibly investing in your future. Investing in the future where you're free of this, investing in the future where there's more hope than what you've had before. Some of you guys are building a business. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles. The card of friendship, the card of making plans, orchestrations, getting something off the ground to build a solid foundation. That's coming after the Sun. I want to say you're going to have some interesting new people in your life. Because again, it's coinciding with this new beginning. And also, I do feel like some of you guys are like actively like building something very tangibly, like finance related or work related. But this 3 of Pentacles, it feels like dealing with people you've never dealt with before and being treated in a way you've never been treated before. And it feels really nice. Anything else for group 2? Some of you guys are being invited in. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Whatever you are being so accountable and disciplined and focused on with how you are investing in your own future or doing something just for you. And I want to say again, it's like all in the name of like liberating yourself from this and giving yourself some sort of new beginning. Restoration of hope is there. But whatever that is, it's like some of you maybe noticed in some way, shape, or form, but I feel like you're isolating. So I don't know how you would be noticed. Maybe like internet, word of mouth, I don't know. Some of you are going to be noticed and invited into something. Welcomed into something. And it's because you didn't give up. Oh. It's because you didn't give up. Some of you, the 8 of Pentacles is just speaking to your shadow work. Look what just fell out. 3 of Cups. 2 3s, by the way. Yeah, group 2. The work you're doing in the 8 of Pentacles, whether it's your shadow work or you're building something up for yourself, your future, whatever, I feel like it's been a lot of work. I feel like you've been working really hard, and it hasn't been for naught. Okay? You're about to celebrate with people. I feel like some of you guys just don't believe that, and I don't blame you, because we have that Hermit in the 4 of Swords, which tells me, again, you've been like very isolated, or you've had a lot of distance from people. Or you've been spending a lot of time with yourself, right? Some of you don't even know these people yet, okay? And this is part of the magic of this new moon and just this week is like, expect the unexpected and like really crazy unexpected shit, you know? But it feels like there is some sort of like welcoming and gathering with other people where you are well received. And I want to say treated kindly, okay? Treated nice today. Any final cards for group 2? Ooh, who's this big daddy? Is this you? Maybe this is you. This is Big Daddy. Maybe that means something to you guys, because I never use that term. That's what I want to call this energy. King of Pentacles and the Emperor. That Big Daddy, okay? Because Emperor is all the kings. Emperor is the boss. Emperor is the leader. Emperor is the head man in charge, you know? King of Pentacles is Taurus energy. King of Pentacles manages the 10. The Emperor is above that. You see what I'm saying? This is Big Daddy, okay? This could absolutely be you. Like maybe you've been building yourself up or building your finances up or building up your work life. This is giving me strong work. This is giving me somebody who has a lot of resources and who has a lot of intact foundations, almost like entrepreneurial. Some of you, this is the person taking notice of you. And they're inviting you into something, which actually makes more sense to me. Because this is Big Daddy. I love that. Oh no, it's just making me smile. They're noticing your hard work. They're noticing your work ethic. They're noticing your diligence. And yeah, I want to say they just respect you, and I want to say they're going to invite you into something. Maybe even get a promotion. But I feel this is an entrepreneur. Whoever this is, whether this is you or someone who's noticing you, they're an entrepreneur. They work for themselves. Whoever that is, they work for themselves. Tell me more about this energy. 10 of Pentacles. Excuse me. Tell me more about this energy. Sorry, I'm hearing a song. I can't sing it. I can't. It's making me blush. Who's the artist behind that? I think it's Usher. I think Usher's the artist. Daddy's Home. That's the line that keeps coming up in my head. Group 2. Look at this. The World card. I'm telling you, the moment you let this go, your life is going to change. And that's not being dramatic. It just is. With the World and the Sun, you could be getting notified. Probably notified. But you could be getting noticed via social media, right? The Sun illuminating the world. The world does indicate international means or social media means. Like internet. This person knows you via the internet or via social media. Or maybe you work remote, maybe right? You could work remotely and this is your boss and maybe they're in another city, state, country. Now I'm really curious. Yeah, now I'm really curious. Tell me more about this King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Sorry, now I'm being nosy. Hey, buddy. Everybody's been asking about you. You want to come over here? Come here. No, over here. Over here. Don't jump on the table, please. No? Not interested? Okay. So I remember the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Oh, Lord Daddy's Home. That's seriously what came up in my mind. I was like, oh. Daddy's home. Anyway, King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Whoever this is, they could have a really prominent Taurus placement. And I mean like prominent, like rising or like Mars, Taurus, Venus, Taurus, like, or a couple. They're screaming Taurus. King of Pentacles screams that. Emperor is Mars energy, so it's usually Aries. But it's also a Taurus card for me as well. Tell me about this King of Pentacles and the Emperor. I'm about to pull the Lenormand deck out here because I'm being so nosy. Group 2. We have the High Priestess. This person likes to, how do I want to say this? Not move in silence. That's not it. Bubby. But they have the High Priestess with them. Like they actually embody that themselves too. Interesting, I said too, so maybe you do as well. Which means that they are intuitive. So they're really rooted in the physical world and in money. Again, entrepreneurship, but they're spiritual too. But I also want to say there's something about the way that they move in their high priestess energy where it's like there's something like secretive or silent about them. Like they could be like a, what is it called? Silent investor, right? They could be a silent investor. I think this person just believes in you. I think they just believe in you. I think they see something in you and they believe in you. Oh, shit. Ten of Swords came out. Why is the Ten of Swords here? I think they know what you're going through. This person knows you. They know you. And I want to say it has to be through digital means. It has to be. They know that you're going through a Ten of Swords moment because the Ten of Swords is the final release. It's the end, right? Alpha, Omega. It's the end. I want to say this Ten of Swords is yours and they're aware of it. And they may just be silent about it. They're just watching you from afar. Tell me more about this Ten of Swords. I'm seriously about to pull out Little Norman Kipper because this is too juicy. But it's that kind of week. It's that kind of week for this kind of stuff. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Why is the Ten of Swords here? I just want confirmation that it's yours. Yeah, Six of Cups, the past and soul connections, which is obviously the hell you went through. Interesting. We have Knight of Cups at the bottom with the Wheel of Fortune. I'm telling you, Big Daddy's coming in with an offer group too. And I like, this person knows you and you either like work with them, work under them. I know there's something kind of like sexual here. Little innuendos here. You either work with them, work under them, or they're just aware of you due to digital means. Like, again, you could work remotely. But they know you well enough to know what you're going through, which is like, tells me that like there's got to be a personal tie to this person. Like they can't be a total stranger. I'm sorry, I have to. I know we're spending a lot of time on this. I have to. It's bugging me. It's really bugging me. Little soap opera moment. Tell me more about this King of Pentacles and the Emperor in relation to group 2. This person's going to change things for you. And again, I want to say it's like they're going to invest in you. They believe in you. They see something in you. It almost has that vibe of like, I don't want to say being discovered, but maybe some of you. But they know your emotions though. They know your pain. That's why I'm like, I don't know. It's actually creeping me out just a little bit. It's creeping me out just a little bit. But who knows? But I don't know. Maybe you're on TikTok. Maybe you like share your stuff. Maybe you tell people what you're going through on social media. Tell me about this King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Risk. A risk with dice. That's like taking a risk, gambling. Okay. Entrepreneur would be risk taker. Message of concern. Message of concern doesn't have to be bad. It could be just something significant, something that like really stirs the emotions. Ooh, family room. Family room can be about family, but it's usually a card of intimacy, and it's a timeline card of 24 hours to a month out, give or take, right? Like, because this is a general reading. So a month ago to a month from now, down to yesterday to tomorrow, that this is going to be happening. But intimacy is like striking me here too. They know you. There's no way they don't. They know you. Yeah, look, toil and labor. That's struggle. That's suffering, really. specifically in terms of the feminine. Compass is about like going in the right direction or going in a certain direction. It's one of my North Node cards. And on the bottom, we have New Beginning with Crane and the Queen of Cups. Again, that emphasis on the feminine and also healing. We have Thief coming out with Toil and Labor. This person wants to free you. This person wants to help you. They actually want, they want to see you come out of this. They want to see you come out of the Ten of Swords, but I don't know why they're just waiting. Why hasn't this energy come forward yet? Maybe they want to see you finish this process you're in. This is very fascinating. I feel like I'm doing a reading from back in 2019. I'm kind of loving it. I can't lie. Yeah, they're waiting for you to be done. The ship with the Ten of Swords. This is the Ten of Swords. They're waiting for you to finally release this emotional shit. Concern. At the bottom. With Mask and Marriage. Marriage doesn't have to be marriage. It could be contracts. This person wants to get in a contract with you. On the top, we also have Fish, which is about money. King of Pentacles energy with the King of Diamonds there. This is about money and emotions, and then communication about money or emotions. Yeah. They're just waiting for you to be ready. Interesting. All right, group 2. You guys got a good reading. Let's go to group 3. They've been waiting very patiently. Wow. Tell me how that turns out. Tell all of us how that turns out, group 2. Okay. Just making space here. Okay. Group 3. Last but not least. I almost wrote snake for you. Interesting. Maybe snakes are a thing. Hold on. I just need to stretch a little bit. Oh. Ah. Ooh. Oh. I know. I love you too. All right. Group 3. Earthworm. So Earthworm is like the full card. Earthworm is, we're starting from scratch. This is different. This is kind of foreign. I'm kind of uncomfortable, but here we are, taking a chance, taking a risk. Let's do it. Let's embody this. Let's go for it. But this is very uncomfortable. That's what the Earthworm speaks on. Okay. Let's see if I can pick up on anything else. I feel like you've already taken the leap on something. I feel like you're already in it. And if not, you are making the decision to very soon. It is a leap. It is a leap though. It is, I can feel it. It's definitely a jump off the cliff. It's definitely a big, oh God, I gotta really trust this. If I'm gonna do this, I gotta really trust it. I think that's the only way this is gonna work out for you. You gotta have a full trust in whatever this is that you are saying yes to, or whatever it is that you are allowing yourself to embrace, accept, initiate even. But I think you know it's right for you. I think you know it's right for you, but I think you know it requires trust for sure. Let's get some dice out here after I adjust my legs a little bit. Oy. Oh, can't wait to like really stretch my back. Okay. Buddy, come sit on the pillow. I know, I love you too. All right, group 3. Buffalo's coming up as well. Could be a prominent animal for you. Buffalo is usually indicative of change, of changing times. Also abundance as well. It's usually a positive omen. I knew it was gonna fall. so funny how some of these energies overlap. So we have Aries. No one's had Aries yet. We have Aries coming out here, also speaking to that full energy. We have the North Node. North Node came up for group 1. And we have the 11th house, which came up for group 2. Some of you guys could have finished your North Node return in Aries. Some of you could be a Gemini rising. Oh, interesting. Some of you guys could be a Gemini rising or Aries rising. Some of you guys could have your North Node in the 11th house or an Aquarius. I'm feeling that aqua energy too. But just like feeling into this, tuning into this, I actually think, are you leading? Hold on a second. Clyde, buddy, come on, come over here. Hey, mister, come on. I just don't want him to like wreak havoc. Clyde, he's totally ignoring me. Hey, hi, come here. No? He's like, I'm just getting close enough just so you can pet me. I promise we're going to come back to the reading. I just don't want him to get destructive because he absolutely can do that. All right, that's fine. It's giving me leader vibes. I feel like, especially with the Aries energy here in the North Node, you're having to be brave for this because I feel like it's like you're betting on yourself. Yeah, whatever this is, you're betting on yourself. Not quite putting all your eggs in one basket, but you might feel that way. But like you're betting on you. Some of you are going into business for yourself, Clyde. Some of you are just really getting out of your comfort zone is what I'm gathering here. And it's like, I can do this. Yeah, this is different, but I can do this. Hold on. Clyde, I know you want something. Come here. No? Where'd you go? I think he's like literally just behind me, but I can't like. Clyde. Hey, buddy. Yeah, just right here. Oh. You guys wanted to see the Clyde stir. But yeah, group 3. You're choosing to believe in yourself, and you're choosing that you're choosing to believe in yourself. That's what it is. You're choosing to believe in yourself. You're choosing to put your money on yourself, and you're really getting out of your comfort zone, but I feel like it's coming with a lot of responsibility is also what I'm getting. There's something else here too. Maybe it'll come out in the cards. Clyde's also distracting me, to be totally fair. Because I also feel like whatever this is, like while you are betting on yourself, there may be other people involved in whatever this is for you or with you. And if that's the case, I think people are looking to you. Like you're the one in charge or you're the one responsible. This could be totally work related. And even if it's not work related, you're just letting yourself go into unknown territory. And I want to say actually maybe something you've been afraid to do. Yeah, actually something you've been afraid to do and you haven't had the confidence until recently to do it. This could even be about moving. This could be like, you know, going to another country even for some of you. That's like a big theme right now. It's a little scary, but you're being brave. Some of you are chasing a dream with the house of, now that Clyde's like been settled, I can like focus with the 11th house here, the house of wishes, and the North Node and Aries. It's like you're taking initiative to chase a dream of yours, chase a hope of yours and make it a reality. Some of you are absolutely doing that. And that is scary. Thank you. Some of you to do this, you actually had to sacrifice something so that you would have the space for it, the bandwidth for it. And maybe you sacrificed something that was very familiar, very secure. predictable, comfortable, too comfortable. It's almost giving me like the castle shadowy vibes, like, right? Like you kind of like, you got so comfortable with something, it became almost like a prison. Like you couldn't grow in it anymore. So you're now chasing a dream instead. Ooh, ooh, wow. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and pull some cards for you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think I want to use Big Bertha for you. Yeah, let's use Big Bertha. Okay. Elk is coming up. Elk could be a synchronicity for you or confirmation for you in some way. Any messages or insights for group 3 for this week? Any messages or insights for group 3 for this week? Also, I don't know why I feel the need to tell you and not group 1 or group 2 about the crystals I have on the table. Maybe they're important. So for today, I felt called to, this is so weird, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but there's a reason. I felt called to pull out my, what do you call this? The spirit quartz or spirit amethyst. Actually, I forget what it's called. Spirit, it's the spirit one. Spirit quartz, spirit amethyst. And my rainbow obsidian. Got incense powder all over it now. Which actually just screams like a power stone, doesn't it? I love this one. So my rainbow obsidian and my giant Shiva lingam. That's what wanted to be in the space today, and I feel the need to tell you. Group 3. Any other messages or insights for group 3? Release the old and rest. Interesting. With autumn, so crows could also be significant, but autumn also speaks to a time of transformation and change. And this is kind of what I was getting with you before of like, I think you actually had to release something or sacrifice something to embrace this. And that's what I'm getting with autumn. On the bottom, we have stag, elk energy. And that is something I was also getting with you. Trust and thrive. And we also have the feminine spirals in the background. Cycles, stages, the moon with the crow, cycles, stages. This is a new chapter for you. Some of you, it's a clean slate. And that's exciting. Just keep believing in yourself. Just keep believing in yourself, okay? Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. You know, it's interesting too, because while this is a risk, while this is unknown territory, and to do this, you actually had to let go of something, you had to sacrifice something. While it's very foreign to you and you're going to find your sea legs with it, this is the Empress energy. This is saying that this is very abundant for you, and actually you're receiving a lot with this. This may also be why it requires so much trust, because the Empress, divine feminine principle, is all about trust. You got to be all in on this. There's no half-assing this. There's no half-trusting this. There's no, I'll try it and see. I'll dip my toe in. No. You have to be all in on this. I just got really dizzy in your energy. So you may have some crown energy as well. Aries also rules the head. Just, you know, throwing that out there. You may also have Pisces in your chart. Yeah. Stargazers, set your sights higher. Again, I know the messages are repetitive, but it's just very clear. You are getting out of your comfort zone, group 3. You absolutely are. And you're allowing yourself to say, I can have more. I can go bigger. I can go further. I can go more beyond. I can have more. I can go bigger. Like, that's what's coming through here. Like, you're going to look back on the version of you that you are leaving behind as the much smaller version of you. Again, it's giving me like you're chasing your dreams. You're taking like bigger leaps of faith. And you are all in. It's go big or go home. Right? Go big or stay in your comfort zone. And that, I feel like that comfort zone, even if you tried to stay, free will's a thing. Even if you tried to stay though, I don't think you would have been happy, which I also think is why you know this is right for you. It's like too big of a fish in a small tank, right? You outgrew it. You outgrew that container. You outgrew that comfort zone. Some of you even became complacent or bored. Oh my God, bored. No boredom. No, thank you. So if you stayed in your comfort zone, it would have been like walking around with a dress that's 2 sizes too small. It just, no, that's not gonna work. It's like, that is not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So go big or stay in a really tight little tank. Am I taking these two? No. Okay. Ooh, we have great teacher, learn from spiritual experience. And the Hermit, we don't have any starseed oracles. This is all earthy energy, grounded energy. Hermit, retreat and recharge. That's interesting. That feels like communing. With great teacher being there and Hermit, some of you, there could be a mentor, a teacher, like someone that you look up to that's helping you with this. Some of you are the teacher. Some of you are the mentor, and also why maybe this is like, oh shit, I got a lot of responsibility. And I'm getting a balance here as well. Some of you have really understood that lesson of balancing your life. Sustainable is what I'm hearing, like sustaining your energy reserves. That's also temperance. That's also the lesson of temperance. But great teacher, sometimes I get Yeshua vibes off of this. I actually think the book might even speak on Yeshua with the great teacher here, but it feels like you are regularly communing with spirit and you're allowing that to also help guide your decision making here. But I am getting something about like a mentor energy. Can I get a card on that, please? Can I get a card on great teacher and hermit? Oh, just two. Portal. Now we have Starseed Oracle out here. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards, wild card. Doors open, and you're saying, hell yes. You're saying, a bigger tank? Oh, I can be in a pond? Yeah, let's do it. And you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. So similar to group, actually, I think even this was across the board for everybody, where other people were a factor in this, community was a factor in this. Similar to group 2, they were like being welcomed in, right? To other people, to other relationships. And I'm feeling that here with you too. Like, I feel like group 3, you're really used to relying on your intuition to guide you and taking that time to kind of like go within and like taking space to do that. But I feel like moving forward, you are going to have more social energy going on in your life. The community portion of this really stood out to me. Thank you. I'm hearing homesickness. So group 3, I think you in particular have really struggled with that feeling of being homesick. And when I say home, I mean home, like, home, not like home. I realized the way I just said that, but I know you knew what I meant. Like feeling really alone on this planet, really misunderstood on this planet, and really missing that feeling of oneness, that feeling of being home and not on this planet. But I want to say you've overcome that. I want to say you've really overcome that. And I think you've also been actually taking more enjoyment in your hermit moments, I'm going to say. Because again, those hermit moments serve you well. Going within and connecting with your intuition serves you well. And you know that. And it's like, I just keep getting like a rejuvenated enjoyment of your hermit moments and time. On the bottom, I'm noticing we have protection guardian. Drop your shields. Yeah, I feel like it's like it's time to engage more with others and connect more with others and just believe that you can do this. Believe that you can handle this. Believe that you're ready. I feel like you're taking on a leadership position. Honestly, that's what I feel like. Some of you it's overdue. Some of y'all it's overdue. And some of you may do this side by side with another person. Like, this could even be like applying for a job and then they realize like, oh, actually you applied for this job, but we have this bigger job available for you. You want it? It comes with all the perks, but it also comes with more responsibility. You ready for it? But deep down you took that other job because it was your comfort zone. You see what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like that. Like you can be an associate or you can be a supervisor. Time to be a supervisor. That's just an example. I think I wouldn't be surprised if through summer I feel like there were a couple phases of this the last like 5, 7 years or so where people got shuffled around. Like everyone I knew at the time like had to move or travel or something crazy. I feel like summer is gonna be that time where it's like not musical chairs, but like I don't know, musical tribes, musical locations. I don't know, because I'm like I just got this like feeling of movement and travel with you that I got with group one, and group two had a little flavor of that too. Interesting. Okay, I want to pull a dragon card for you actually. So let's go and pull a dragon card, and then we're gonna pull some tarot. I didn't pull a dragon card for group two, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. Can I get a dragon card for group three, please? Wait, am I taking all these or just the top? Just the top. Okay. 4 dragons came out. Fire dragon is the one on the cover too. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. It's a very interesting statement. You're safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. Sacrifice whatever you need to sacrifice and embrace this. You're ready. You've been ready. Again, I'm saying, but I'm also hearing overdue. I'm like checking about another one. They said no. Okay. All right. That's it for the dragons. All right. Let's pull some tarot. Let's do unicorns with you. Actually, no. Let's do right away. Okay. Wait, couldn't help but think about Blake Lively and her dragons. I haven't, like, I know that there's been shit going on with her, but I stopped following a long time ago. That whole thing with, what's his face? The guy she did the movie with. So I'm curious, can you elaborate? Curious, just very curious if you could elaborate on that. Any other messages or insights? Any other messages or insights for group 3, please? Everyone's getting that card. Wow, look at that. 3 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. This, I'm hearing like merge. That's what I'm hearing, merge. Some of you guys could be merging businesses with someone else. Because the reason I say that, with the 3 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles, there's a second 3 of Pentacles between these two. Almost like there was a plan and a plan's in order, and maybe even like something already occurring, something already building, and then there was another thing already building and we're in like going, and then it's like, oh, let's just merge this. Let's just do this together. Like I was saying, like I feel like some of you guys is like there's like a side by side thing going on here for some of you. And all in the realm of Pentacles. I feel like this is purely about work for you. I do. Like this is probably about work or money or like investments of some kind. And I feel like there's a joining of forces happening, but it does require you to take on more responsibility than you were prepared for. But honestly, it feels like the push that you need, because I think that this actually is going to work out better for you, and I think it's going to make you very happy. The Six of Pentacles also can imply that this is being given to you or gifted to you, but I almost feel like you're actually taking on that role of the one who gives, of the one who provides. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be taking on that role at some point, but you're coming into a lot more than you anticipated you were ever going to have, resource-wise. I want to say you're going to be coming into a lot of money, actually. I was going to say when the time is right. Wheel of Fortune at the bottom. Any other messages or insights for group 3? And we get the Fool. Makes sense with that earthworm energy. So the Fool is here, leaping off the cliff. Trusting. Oh. So the Sacrifice. Let me get a sip of water for this one. The Sacrifice. We knew there was one. We knew there was one. It may be bittersweet. It may be hard, but I think you're very clear that it is the right choice. So if you got to grieve it, if you got to be sad about it, you know, do what you got to do. But I'm seeing the Sacrifice there. Some of you, I'm also seeing this as that homesickness, making peace with that homesickness. So similar to group 2, like with any healing, with any kind of healing that we go through with stuff like that, once we hit that point of acceptance and, you know, resolving that within ourselves, we create space. We create space to bring in opportunities that we couldn't before, because we were believing in that experience of that wound, of that pain, of that homesickness, right? So like the more you like allowed yourself to kind of sink in to the homesick feeling, it was going to be harder for people to come into your reality to remind you that you're not alone. You know, you heard what I'm saying? So some of you guys is also speaking to that. Am I taking these? Yes. Ooh. Okay. Look at that. Justice, Queen of Wands, Aries. That's the court card for Aries. 10 of Cups, Pisces, and the 7 of Wands, Mars, Leo energy. This is you doubling down on yourself, and I love it. I freaking love it. Queen of Wands is very confident, but you are believing in yourself. You're clear on what you want and what's going to make you happy in that 10 of Cups energy, and you're willing to fight for it. You're willing to put in the work. You're willing to put in the energy and the investment into that by believing in yourself and being confident in yourself. Justice being here, this is just something that, like, you deserve this. That's what, like, this feels like a gift, honestly. Like, this is amazing. You deserve this. You've wanted this, actually. You've wanted it. You just needed to be ready to believe that you can have it and believe that you can handle it. Because I keep getting responsibility here. Any other final messages for group 3? And then we're going to hop off. I'm starting to really... fatigue is really starting to set in here for me. Final messages for group 3. Oh, we might have to do a little digging. 9 of Swords and the Knight of Cups. That's fear and anxiety about about this opportunity, about receiving it or initiating it. Tell me more about this 9 of Cups and 9 of Swords. So a couple of things here. Group 3, also very similar messages coming up in all the groups. We now have 7 of Swords and the 4 of Cups clarifying this. that 7 and the 9, there's a 2 of Swords, decision making here. Okay? Some of you, this is your own fear of following your heart, following your soul, and just making that hard decision to let go. 4 of Pentacles is holding on. To let go and sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed to embrace this. Some of you, that's just what it is. And recognizing that you could be sabotaging yourself if you don't, because you've outgrown your tank. You've outgrown your comfort zone. It's too small for you now, and you need something bigger, okay? You need something you can really grow into. Some of you, again, very similar to group 1, and even group 2, actually. Interesting. Sorry, I'm like, again, fatigue is setting in really strong. I really gotta go soon. You could be wanting to initiate an offer to somebody to go in on this with you. With the 6 of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles, right? Like, hey, let's join forces on this. And you could have a lot of reservations about approaching this person and saying this to them and being like, hey, I have an idea. What do you think? Maybe? Huh? What'd you say? You know? And of course, if that's the case, it can be reversed or vice versa. Oh, hold on a second. My throat is going now too. But whether this is you just like fighting yourself on sacrificing, we need to sacrifice, approaching the person you need to approach, or someone wanting to approach you and they're all angsty about it, that 2 of Swords energy, and also the 6 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, both cards about decision making, are very prominent here. And it's just about, hey, just believe in yourself. Follow what feels right. The role of your intuition, how important that is as a compass for you, and you know how important it is as a compass for you. Also why I think you are very willing to try here. Okay? But just follow your heart. Follow your soul, follow your compass, and you won't go astray. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I know that group 3, I know you guys' reading was a little bit shorter, but also it was very clear cut. And group 2 needed a lot of time. But yeah, fatigue is hitting me hard. I really got to like lay down here. Excuse me. For the timestamps, it may take me a while to get them up because my computer's down. So I have to do it on my phone. And that takes a lot longer because it's glitchy as because the YouTube app is very glitchy. But I'm going to try my best to make that happen, okay? But yeah, have a great Monday. Rest your Monday. Have a great week. And enjoy the rest of this new moon. It's going to peak in like, actually, maybe an hour. I'm not even sure what time it is. But yeah, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to go. And I love you all. Thanks again for hanging out. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Take care.